Chapter 1152. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second. We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Lin Feng could not forcibly devour Zhujirui's memories. After all, she was a broken curse heavenly demon and a purple-eyed demon. Forcibly devouring her memories would be like crushing dry weeds and smashing rotten wood. Otherwise, it would be difficult to succeed. As for forming a soul contract, Lin Feng was not very interested. Unlike the death anniversary, Zhujiru was a demon after all. She was useless and only possessed the energy of the soul. "Wake up!" Lin Feng shouted. His saint power poured into Zhujiru's mind and woke her up immediately. She was very weak. Zhujiru looked at Lin Feng with a complicated expression. "Answer my question honestly, and I will let you go after it is done," Lin Feng said. Really, as the smartest purple-eyed demon among the demons, she was naturally proficient in the human language. However, Zhujiru could not believe it. "I, Lin Feng, always do what I say." Lin Feng looked at Zhujiru. Zhujiru looked puzzled. "Why should I believe you?" Lin Feng smiled. "Do you have a choice?" Zhujiru was speechless. After a moment of silence, Zhujiru said, "What do you want to know?" "It's very simple." Lin Feng's eyes were burning. "Where did you send some of the human powerhouses you captured? What is your purpose?" Zhujiru's beautiful eyes flickered. Just as she was thinking, a black light suddenly appeared. She felt a chill on her neck, and a murderous saber was placed against her neck. Lin Feng's face suddenly turned cold. "You have 3 seconds to consider." 3, 2, swoosh. Zhujiru's face changed. She immediately said, "I will speak." Lin Feng stopped counting and looked at Zhujiru. "Speak. Don't let me see you hesitate." Zhuzi glared at Lin Feng. "Can't you be a little gentler? Since I promised you, you won't go back on your words. After all, it's about my own life." Seeing that Lin Feng did not buy it, Zhujian pursed his lips and said softly, "Actually, it's not a big secret. It's an order from the Demon Eye Emperor." Demon Eye Emperor. Lin Feng's eyes turned cold. The strongest of the purple-eyed demons, one of the 5 demon emperors, ranked 4th on the myriad demons list. It was rumored that he had once fought with Li Mubai. One was the strongest cultivator of the dark demon heart of the demon race, while the other was the strongest human cultivator of the saint force. In the end, Li Mubai was defeated by his demonic eyes and only came out of seclusion after countless years. "You won't let me go because you're afraid of Demon Eye Emperor, will you?" Zhuizhitong asked. "Of course not." Lin Feng kept his emotions in his heart and said in a low voice, "Continue. I don't know what Demon Eye Emperor's purpose is. Maybe he wants to eat humans, or maybe he wants to study them, or maybe..." Zhuijian raised her eyebrows and smiled meaningfully. "In short, if you want to save them, you'll have to be quick. Otherwise, in a few days, I'm afraid that even their bones won't be found." "Where is Demon Eye Emperor?" Lin Feng shouted. Zhujiru opened her red lips. Death Bell Cemetery. Lin Feng did not suspect that Zhujiru was lying because her life was in his hands. If he could not find Demon Eye Emperor and save Manzi, he would not let Zhujiru go. Moreover, the demon race, who is selfish by nature, had a different definition of betrayal from humans. They could betray anything for their own benefit. The demon race only believed in one thing: power. They were born for power and live for power. Death Bell Cemetery, 12 demon death bells. Lin Feng thought to himself. It was the biggest secret of the Death Bell Cemetery. Until now, no one knew how the bells of the Death Bell Cemetery were rung. Moreover, this was the place where the demon race's experts were most rampant. It was very difficult for human martial artists to enter. Originally, Lin Feng wanted to go to the Death Bell Cemetery to investigate. The existence of the demon star was like a thorn in his back. He had to deal with it as soon as possible. But this time, his priority was to save Manzi. "Master, death anniversary had arrived. Do you know the way to the Death Bell Cemetery?" Lin Feng asked. "I do," Death Anniversary said. "Let's go." Lin Feng was decisive and experienced. Although most of the martial artists were not familiar with the Death Bell Cemetery and could not even get close to it, This did not include Death Anniversary. As the top assassin in the Nirvana world, he had ventured into the 6 great treacherous lands. He was not even afraid of the most dangerous Black Devil prison, let alone the Death Bell Cemetery. With Death Anniversary leading the way, entering the Death Bell Cemetery became a lot easier. "How much have you recovered?" Lin Feng asked. "Almost 90%. Death Anniversary replied. "Good, I need your help this time." Lin Feng said. "Yes, master." It did not take long for the two of them to arrive. They were quite familiar with the Death Bell Cemetery and Death Anniversary. With Death Anniversary leading the way, they quickly entered, saving a lot of time. The Death Bell Cemetery is a circular structure. The outermost part is an ordinary cemetery. There are a total of 108 death bells. As they spoke, a deafening sound rang out. Lin Feng let out a soft "oh." The sound of the bells rang out, causing his body to tremble slightly. This place is called the Bone-Shaking Death Bell by the demon race. Death Anniversary said, "The demon race elites listen to the sound of the bone-shaking death bell here to strengthen their bones and muscles, increasing their physical strength." Lin Feng nodded. He also felt it, but his physique had already reached its limit. It was difficult to improve it. Moreover, the sound of the death bell did not give him a strong feeling. The closer the distance, the louder and more powerful the sound of the bell. Death Anniversary said, "Therefore, countless demon race elites gather at the place where the bell sounds. However, the louder the bell sounds, the easier it is for them to lose their rationality. If it is light, they will lose their soul. If it is heavy, their soul will scatter." Lin Feng nodded. The legend of the Death Bell Cemetery had already spread throughout the Nirvana world. "Roar! Howl!" The demon race's roars shook the area. Lin Feng's eyes moved. "Demons?" Death Anniversary replied, "Yes, other than the demon race, the demons that live here can also strengthen themselves by listening to the sound of the bell. Many of them are even comparable to a 10,000 years old human. In addition to the power of the death bell, there are countless demon race elites. In this bone-shaking death bell cemetery, even heaven glimpse elites can die. It is much more dangerous than the god ruins." Lin Feng thought. A black monster that looked like a giant bear appeared in front of them. Its eyes were shining with a demonic black color. It was filled with a berserk aura in the night. It was one of the demons. However, before Lin Feng made a move, the black demonic bear had already collapsed. A black light flashed in front of them. It was Death Anniversary's dagger. "What a fast dagger," Lin Feng praised. "Master, you flatter me," Death Anniversary said. "I have come here many times, so I am familiar with the weaknesses of these demons." "Is that so? Tell me about it," Lin Feng asked curiously. "Okay." Listening to Death Anniversary's introduction along the way, Lin Feng had a deeper understanding of the demons in the Death Bell Cemetery. Experience was strength. Death Anniversary's experience was comprehended from battle after battle. In conclusion, he had the advantage. Although the bone-shaking Death Bell Cemetery was terrifying and dangerous, it also depended on the person. No matter if it was Lin Feng or Death Anniversary, their strength had long surpassed the demons in the bone-shaking Death Bell Cemetery. After passing through this underground tomb, we will reach the second Death Bell Cemetery. Death Anniversary said. Chapter 1153. Genius 1 Second. Remember, love, divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Oh, so many people. Love go little say. Chu Lin Feng looked forward and sensed the aura. The huge underground tomb in front of him had the auras of many martial artists. There were at least thousands of them. This is a man-made underground tomb at the end of the bone-shaking death bell. We call it the Hidden Bell Cave. Not only can it weaken the sound of the death bell, but it is also guarded by the strong masters of the Miracle Garden all year round. It is a temporary resting place for human warriors. Now they're all looking for the Demon Star, so naturally there are many people, Death's Son said. I see. Lin Feng suddenly understood. After all, the demon clan was rampant in the Death Bell Graveyard, and it was unfavorable for human warriors. It was good to have a temporary resting place like the Hidden Bell Cave. The 5 clans of the Tian-Mo clan set a shocking reward. As long as you can find a trace of the demon star, your clan will prosper and become one of the 12 royal clans. If you are an ordinary warrior, the patriarchs of the 5 clans will take you as a disciple and use all their resources to train you, Death's son said. No wonder there are so many people, Lin Feng said. The warriors in the Hidden Bell Cave were probably just a drop in the ocean. At least more than 80% of them were currently searching the Death Bell graveyard for the opportunity to leap over the Dragon Gate. Who didn't want to obtain the favor and grace of the Tian-Mo 5 clans? No wonder the 5 clans of the Tian-Mo clan made such a promise. Finding the demon star was too important for human beings. Go in. Lin Feng stepped forward. Yes, master. Hidden Bell Cave. The walls of the cavern were inlaid with bright pearls, illuminating the entire underground cavern. Thousands of martial artists were gathered in one place, but it didn't feel crowded at all. Even if there were tens of thousands of martial artists, it would still be the same. There were sealed arrays everywhere, lights from treasures that blocked auras, and battle stages for martial skills. Father. 2 men stood respectfully, with the mark of the Ao clan of the southern prison on their armor. They were young and imposing, like dragons among men. They were Ao Yu and Ao Janwei of the Ao clan of the southern prison, both of whom were at the 10,000 years old stage. The man with white hair in front of them was Ao Li, the head of the Ao clan of the southern prison, a heaven glimpse stage master. Cough. Ao Li's face turned pale. Obviously, he was injured. Listen, I need a rest for a few months to recover. During this time, you will take my place and lead the southern prison's Ao family warriors. Yes, father. Ao Yu and Ao Janwei's eyes lit up. To them, this was a golden opportunity bestowed by the heavens. Whoever could perform well, the position of patriarch would definitely be theirs. Both of you have already awakened your bloodline for the second time, which is comparable to Heaven Glimpse experts. The alliance of the 4 great Ao clans must not bring shame to our southern prison's Ao clan's name. Aoli said solemnly. Father, don't worry. Second brother and I will definitely do our best. Ao smiled lightly and spoke with a graceful bearing. Love, go little say, father, please rest at ease and recuperate. Big brother has always been impulsive. I will look after him. Ao Jianwei also smiled. The two of them glanced at each other with a fake smile on their faces. Aoli closed his eyes slightly and waved his hand. He naturally wouldn't care about the struggle between the two brothers. The position of clan head should always be occupied by the capable. Hua, Lin Feng, and Death Date entered. Lin Feng didn't cover his face. He was an unfamiliar face. Death Date wore a black mask and only revealed a pair of eyes. He followed behind Lin Feng by half a step. He naturally couldn't walk side by side with Lin Feng. After signing the soul contract, he was equivalent to Lin Feng's slave in all aspects. Death Date was like an inconspicuous little follower. Even if he wore a black mask, no one would pay attention to him. In fact, the number of people who recognized Death Date wasn't much more than Lin Feng. There are martial artists guarding the Miracle Garden, so it's safe here. Lin Feng said, "This path is already very hidden. Only by crossing the natural barrier can one enter." Adding in a large array outside, the Hidden Bell Cave can be said to be absolutely safe. Death Date said, "And this area is the weakest part of the Death Bell. Demons rarely enter here." Lin Feng nodded. Normal demon experts would be courting death if they entered here. Lin Feng, who was entering for the first time, was also curious. From time to time, people would look over, but they didn't recognize Lin Feng and Death Date. There were isolation arrays and treasures in the Hidden Bell Cave, but more than 80% of the martial artists didn't care too much about privacy. After all, there were advantages and disadvantages to isolating the outside world. It would be troublesome if something happened. Oh, Lin Feng's eyes flashed. Many martial artists directly sat down cross-legged and immersed their consciousness into the sea of origin to cultivate. There wasn't just one. There were many martial artists cultivating here. Fighting isn't allowed here? Lin Feng asked. Yes, Death Date replied. It's a rule set by the 5 clans of Tion Mo. Whoever dares to kill someone here will be treated as an enemy of the Miracle Garden and will be hunted down. Lin Feng laughed. Seems familiar. He could hear something different from the voice on the anniversary of his death. I once assassinated the Yellow Nightmare clan's patriarch here. There were 6 of us. Death Date's voice was very calm. Lin Feng nodded. The so-called rule was only for ordinary martial artists. Death Date was not for ordinary people. There wasn't anything special about the Hidden Bell Cave. It was actually a base for human martial artists in the Funeral Bell Cemetery, where they could recuperate and recover. Lin Feng quickly sped up. He naturally wouldn't waste time here. Most of the martial artists here were in the 10,000 years old realm. About 10% of them were in the Heaven Glimpse realm. However, after his trip to Emperor Yu's Divine Realm and seeing countless experts on the demon list, these 10,000 years old realm and Heaven Glimpse realm martial artists were no different from ordinary people. Whoosh! Even though he was speeding, Lin Feng still spread out his Heaven Eye cultivation and was very cautious. With the Heaven Eye cultivation that had opened the second aperture and the life-breaking realm's innate soul cultivation, he could easily sense the aura of all the martial artists around him. Even life-breaking realm experts would find it hard to detect, let alone these 10,000 years old realm and Heaven Glimpse realm martial artists. Suddenly, Lin Feng suddenly slowed down. His widened eyes revealed a look of surprise and instantly sparkled. Death Date behind him didn't understand, but he slowly slowed down with Lin Feng. Pa! Lin Feng's figure stopped. Instantly, gazes gathered on him. There were almost 100 martial artists gathered here. It was quite a huge formation. Almost 100 gazes looked over with probing and caution. There were also many strange gazes, but one of them was the most special. How was it possible? Ao Jianhui widened his eyes in disbelief. The nearly 100 martial artists gathered here were the alliance of the 4 great Ao families. The Ao family of Handong, the Ao family of Southern Prison, the Ao family of Mengshi, and the Ao family of Northern Sea. Lin Feng looked straight at Ao Jianhui. Memories of the past flashed through his mind. The grudges between him and Ao Jianhui had started when they entered the Nemo planet and the 33 continents. Senior Bai Yun was killed. Lin Feng was hunted again and again, and then he killed his way to the Dark God Mountain and then entered the Dark World. The hatred between them had never faded. It was just temporarily sealed. And now it was revealed again. Enemies were bound to meet on a narrow road. Chapter 1154. Genius remembers love in 1 second / small. We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Ao Jianhui's mood was very complicated. He wanted to kill Lin Feng, but now was not the time. He knew that Lin Feng had entered the Nirvana world and tried to kill him many times. However, Lin Feng was very cunning and did not give him any chance. He had always been under the protection of the Glory Alliance. Later, because the competition between him and his elder brother Ao Yu for the position of clan head became more and more intense, Lin Feng's hatred was put aside as time passed. But now, the hatred of the 33 continents surged in Ao Jianhui's head. Ao Jianhui's face was ashen and his eyes were full of anger. Oh, Ao Yu noticed Ao Jianhui's strange expression and turned his head to look. He saw Lin Feng and the follower behind him and became suspicious. When he looked at Ao Jianhui, who was so angry that he wanted to eat someone, he could not help but pay more attention. What's the matter, brother? Ao Fangqi, the leader of the alliance of the 4 great Ao clans, asked. Ao Fangqi was also a little displeased when he saw that Lin Feng did not leave. After all, they were discussing something important. Lin Feng's eyes flashed. The dusty memories in his mind turned over. He looked from Ao Jianhui to Ao Fangqi and slowly walked to the alliance of the 4 great Ao clans. I'm looking for Ao Jianhui. Ao Jianhui? The 3 clan heads led by Ao Fangqi looked at Ao Jianhui and Ao Yu. Ao Yu's eyes lit up, and he put on a smile. It seems that it has nothing to do with me. After saying that, he tactfully retreated to the side. He knew that this person did not come with good intentions. Although this young man was not eye-catching, the aura of the follower behind him was quite terrifying. This black-clothed young man was definitely not a good person. Lin Feng, Ao Jianwei revealed a fierce look. He clenched his fists and snapped his fingers to suppress his killing intent. He wanted to kill Lin Feng very much. However, he could not do so here. The Miracle Garden had rules. If he wanted to kill Lin Feng, everyone would die together. Lin Feng, Ao Fanqi frowned. What a familiar name. Oh, I think I've heard of it somewhere before. Ao Gu, the head of the Ao family of Bushi Shi, murmured as he rubbed his bald head. Long time no see. Lin Feng didn't stop as he walked towards Ao Jianwei. What are you trying to do? Ao Jianwei cautiously took half a step back. He felt his hair stand on end and a chill run down his spine. Haven't you been looking for me? Lin Feng said now. I'm here. He already couldn't be bothered to exchange pleasantries with Ao Jianwei. Clang. When the treasured sword was unsheathed, Ao Jianwei's killing intent was revealed. Immediately, the alliance of the four great Ao families was astonished. Don't force my hand, Ao Jianwei said coldly. Come. Lin Feng smiled. Striding towards Ao Jianwei, Lin Feng was not the least bit afraid. On the contrary, Ao Jianwei was somewhat suppressed by Lin Feng's aura and took a small step back. Little bastard, you want to die together with me? I won't fall for your trick. Lin Feng said indifferently, I gave you a chance, but you didn't make a move, then I'll make my move. Swoosh. As soon as he finished speaking, the sinful black saber was already unsheathed. Its tyrannical aura shook the entire Hidden Bell cave. Ao Fanqi's expression changed. He knew something was wrong and wanted to draw his sword to help. However, he suddenly felt a chill on his neck. A cold and dark dagger had been placed against his neck. The coldness that penetrated his heart made Ao Fanqi not dare to move. The dagger cut open his fragile neck and blood dripped down. At the same time, boom, the dark source with the cold intent of the blade was cut in half. Facing Lin Feng's tyrannical attack, Ao Jianwei couldn't even move a step. His power was suppressed. Not only was his treasured sword completely shattered, but the dark source had also invaded his body and let out a heart-wrenching sound. Not only did he die, but he also died from the devouring of darkness. Bang! Ao Jianwei's body was torn into pieces. That pair of unreconciled and shocked eyes remained in the hearts of every Ao family warrior. They couldn't calm down for a long time, especially Ao Yu, whose mouth was wide open. He had always wanted Ao Jianwei to die, but he didn't expect it to happen so suddenly. How could he be killed so easily like a piece of tofu? You, all of you. Ao Fanqi's face was pale. His arms trembled slightly. At the moment, a name appeared in his mind, a name that made all the warriors tremble with fear. Death Anniversary. You are Death Anniversary. Ao Fanqi's voice made all the warriors of the four Ao families break out in cold sweat. What a joke. Death Anniversary took back his dagger and stared at Ao Fanqi with his black eyes. He glanced at all the warriors of the Ao family coldly and asked, What did you see just now? See what? We didn't see anything. We have nothing to do with the Southern Prison Ao family. Everyone kicks a man who is down. The four Ao families didn't get along so well. Naturally, they wouldn't stand up for Ao Jianwei. Only the leader of the Southern Prison Ao family was still immersed in surprise. Feeling Death Anniversary's piercing gaze, Ao Yu forced a smile and said, TSK, my brother is really something. He rushed out without saying anything. What should we do? Young people are so impulsive. The Death Knell graveyard is no joke. He could die at any time. Young family patriarch is right. Yes, Jianwei is too impulsive. The warriors of the Southern Prison Ao family also took advantage of the situation. Death Anniversary said coldly, If this matter is leaked out, even God can't protect you. Don't blame me for slaughtering the four Ao families. As soon as he finished his words, the four Ao families didn't dare to say anything. Even the 12 royal families would be obedient on Death Anniversary, let alone them. Lin Feng looked at Death Anniversary and gave him a thumbs up. He glanced at the four AO families and then left. Death Anniversary soon followed. Only when the two had completely disappeared from their sight did the four AO family warriors let out a sigh of relief. So scary. I'm so King unlucky. Why did I bump into this heavenly Lone Star on my death anniversary? It's all because of the Southern Prison AO family. Everyone vented their anger and was furious. AOU hastily waved his hand and said, "What does it have to do with the Southern Prison's AO clan?" AO Jianhui provoked it himself. Didn't you hear him? The one he offended was that black-clothed young man called Lin Feng. Yes, Lin Feng. AO Gu, the head of the AO family, who had been pondering, slapped his head and said happily, "I know, he is the new fifth king of the Glory Union. The fifth king officially announced by King Tianyao half a year ago. Saber King." Saber King Feng? I heard that he once killed 7 Heaven Glimpse experts of the Luo Shin Union. Even Kuang Yin was defeated by him. Not only that, he is also the youngest life-breaking expert in the Glory Union and has entered the Yu Emperor Divine Realm. Why is he with Death Anniversary? They seem to have a good relationship. Chill. Do you want to die? How dare you talk about Death Anniversary behind his back? Alliance Master Ao Fanchi coughed and said seriously, "All right, this matter ends here. No one is allowed to mention it again. If there is a leak, you will be punished according to the family rules." Then what about Ao Jianwei? Did he die in vain? One of the Southern Prison AO family warriors couldn't help but ask. Ao Fanchi's expression was cold. Rules are dead, people are alive. In the Nirvana world, some people can't be offended. Ao Jianhui's death, he can only blame himself. Chapter 1155. Rules could be broken. Net. One's strength was above the rules. This point, Lin Feng already knew since he was young. He wasn't worried about the revenge of the Southern Prison's AO family. A Heaven Glimpse expert was already a peak family. It was like a small wave in the sea, unable to raise any angry waves. As for whether or not it would offend the Miracle Garden, he also didn't care. He was no longer the same person who had just entered the Nirvana realm. With Death Anniversary beside him, unless Miracle Saint King personally made a move, other martial artists wouldn't be able to do anything to him. Your name is very useful. Lin Feng smiled. After avenging Senior by Yun and killing Ao Jianwei, he was in a good mood. Death Anniversary had ended beautifully, scaring the 4 great AO clans. They didn't even dare to say a word. A person's name was like a tree's shadow. Human nature is selfish. Death Anniversary answered. Yes, who isn't selfish? Lin Feng sighed. Humans have emotions and desires. It's just that some people show it while others hide it. Humans are not saints. Selfishness is a very normal emotion. Some people are selfish for themselves. Some people are selfish for their family. Some people are selfish for their country. As they spoke, they had already left the Hidden Bell Cave and entered the second Death Knell Graveyard. Devil Quake Death Knell Land. The bell sound here is much stronger. Lin Feng's eyes lit up. In this Devil Quake Death Knell Land, he felt very comfortable. Every bell sound was like a stream of spring water that cleansed his body. When the bell sounded, the Origin Star Realm's dark heart trembled gently. It was very comfortable. Dark source energy flowed out and turned into energy. Although this energy might be insignificant to him now. Bone Quake Death Knell mainly strengthens the bones and the body strength. Devil Quake Death Knell stimulates the dark energy and turns it into one's own use. Death Anniversary said. No wonder. Lin Feng understood. The devil race was the king of darkness. Every devil race was born with incomparable dark talent and could use the dark source energy for their own use. After entering the Devil Quake Death Knell Land, the devil race could further stimulate their potential and increase their battle strength. Many supreme heavenly devils can come back alive from the Bone Quake Death Knell Land and the Devil Quake Death Knell Land. Their battle strength is comparable to curse-shattering heavenly devils. Death Anniversary said. Lin Feng nodded. Even though the Death Knell Graveyard could greatly stimulate the potential of the devil race, it was also very dangerous at the same time. If it was light, they would be injured and suffer from chi deviation. If it was heavy, they would completely lose their rationality and become a walking corpse. The puppet heavenly devil of the death knell graveyard. Dong, the deafening sound of the knell, was heard again. Lin Feng and Deathly Sun were not affected at all. This place was even more relaxing than the place where the bone-shaking knell was. Both of them cultivated the path of darkness. Not only was the sound of the knell not harmful, it could even help them absorb more of the darkness origin. As for the influence of consciousness, it was not even worth mentioning. So many martial artists, Lin Feng said softly as he rushed over. But not as many as the demons. Death's Son said. After all, their goals were different. Human powerhouses were more motivated by profit and were looking for demonic stars, while the devil race was trying to increase their strength. Moreover, the number of human powerhouses was far less than that of the devil race. It was normal for there to be fewer of them. However, in addition to the humans and demons, there were also many experts from the demon race who came to join the fun. Humans and shifters did not interfere with each other, but when they met devils, they would fight. Here, fighting was common. It was like a primitive forest. The stronger one would survive. Survival of the fittest was the best way to train one's strength. Suddenly, Lin Feng's eyes lit up. Dozens of auras mingled in the distance. It was the devil race and the humans fighting. He looked at Death Anniversary. The latter had also appeared and looked at him questioningly. Lin Feng shook his head and made a turn to avoid them. His time was precious. He would not meddle in other people's business. Moreover, the humans and devils on Nemo Planet were fighting each other. It had nothing to do with him. While evading, Lin Feng and Son of the Death continued to move forward. They did not engage in even half a battle, and when they encountered powerful demons, they would simply skip over them, not even bothering to kill them. To a certain extent, the two of them were indeed on the same path, having a clear goal and direction. Soon, they passed through the Devil Quake Death Knell Land and entered the third level of the Death Knell Graveyard. Blood Quake Death Knell Land. Clang! A shocked sound rang out in Lin Feng's mind. His expression changed slightly. This time, the sound of the bell was different from the previous two levels. It went straight into the Origin Star realm and caused the space to tremble. The giant beast hidden in the endless black hole in the Origin Star realm seemed to have awakened. Every tremor caused the Origin Star realm to ripple with great waves. It was shocking. Its telekinesis distance. Lin Feng was shocked. His telekinesis distance in the Origin Star realm was expanding. He was now in the fourth level of the Origin Star realm. He was one step ahead of the Nemo Planet warriors. But he could still improve. The increase in telekinesis distance meant the improvement of the Origin Star realm. What a strange bell sound, Lin Feng thought. Only life-breaking realm warriors dared to enter the Bloodquake Death Knell Land. This was a place to improve the devil race's bloodline. Unlike humans, the devil race's bloodline was very important. It determined their upper limit. The 4 ancient devil races, the 10 progenitor devil races, and the 108 original devil races were not different in terms of aptitude, but more in terms of bloodline. Here, one could dig out the bloodline in their body and improve their strength. The Bloodquake Death Knell Land is the foundation of the Death Knell Graveyard. It is also the trump card of the devil race experts. Son of the Death said, "This place is covered by black haze all year round. The death knell can affect people's minds. Even life-breaking realm experts cannot completely resist it. 12 devil death knells are hidden in each area of the Bloodquake Death Knell. The closer you get, the more dangerous it is. Each devil death knell contains extremely powerful energy. It can stimulate different devil race bloodlines. Even Miracle Saint King cannot completely get close to it. 4 of the devil death knells are the Chiyu Devil Death Knell, the Purple-Eyed Devil Death Knell, the Sky-Devouring Devil Death Knell, and the Nether Devil Death Knell. Most of the devil race experts gather around these 4 devil death knell. At the same time, it is also the most likely location of the Devil Star." Lin Feng nodded seriously when he heard Son of the Death's words. According to Zhuijigua, the Purple-Eyed Devil race's Demon Eye Emperor, ranked 4th on the 10,000 devil ranking, was in the Purple-Eyed Devil Death Knell area. The existence of the four devil death knells established the strength and status of the four great ancient devil races. It was hard for the devil death knell, which had the ability to continue their bloodline and stimulate their potential, not to be strong. Do you recognize the purple-eyed devil death knell area? Lin Feng let out a light breath. The sound of the death knell gradually disappeared, and the ripples in the origin star realm also calmed down. I recognize it, Son of the Death said. Let's go. Lin Feng did not hesitate. He naturally knew how dangerous the purple-eyed devil death knell area was, but he had to go. Pah! Clenching his fists, Lin Feng's eyes flashed with a blood-red color. He had completely entered battle mode. You must live, Manzi. Chapter 11:56. So, a black light shot out as Death's Son cautiously probed ahead. As the top assassin of the Nirvana world, Death's Son was naturally proficient in the most basic assassin ability, probing, eliminating danger as much as possible and ensuring safety. This was not too difficult for him, even if he was in the dangerous Death Knell graveyard. The Purple-Eyed Demon Death Knell area isn't hard to find. It's right behind the Nether Demon Death Knell and Crow Demon Death Knell areas. Death's Son said. Lin Feng nodded lightly. Death's Son had already explained in detail. The entire Blood Death Knell area was like a tree trunk that split to the left and right like two intersecting ladders. The outermost area was the Nether Demon Death Knell area. If one walked along the right edge, one would enter the Crow Demon Death Knell area after crossing a third of the area. But if one went straight through, one would enter the Purple-Eyed Demon Death Knell area. Master, do you have a decision? Death's Son asked. Go straight through the shortest distance. Lin Feng did not hesitate. First enter the Crow Demon Death Knell area. Then entered the Purple-Eyed Demon Death Knell area. Although it was safe, it would take a lot of detours. No matter which area it was, the edge was usually the safest. Going straight through was very convenient, but it was very dangerous because no matter what choice one made, one would definitely enter the core area of the Death Knell area. However, it would save a lot of time. Both options had their pros and cons, and to Lin Feng, time was more important. All right, Death's Son did not have any objections. In his belief, he only obeyed. The Nether Devil Death Knell area is the outermost one. After that is the Crow Devil Death Knell area, and after that is the Purple Pupil Devil Death Knell area. As Lin Feng sped along, he quickly understood many things. The 12 Devil Death Knells also had different rankings. The outermost Nether Devil Death Knell was the last of the 12 Devil Death Knells. The Purple-Eyed Demon race was ranked first, the Chiyu Demon race was ranked first, and the highest was the Heaven-Devouring Demon race. Coincidentally, this was the ranking of the four great ancient demon races. It seems that there are 5 more races with stronger bloodlines than the Heaven-Devouring Demon race. Lin Feng thought. The key now is that I don't know which area of the Nether Demon Death Knell Demon Star's bloodline. If I know, it'll be much easier. He was 80% sure that the Devil Star was hidden in the depths of the 12 Devil Funeral Bells. This was because the 12 Devil Funeral Bells region was the greatest natural barrier. Even if the human experts knew that the Devil Star was here, what could they do? And most importantly, the closer I am to the magic death bell, the greater my potential will be stimulated and the faster my strength will increase. Lin Feng said. The Black Devil Prison was only the base camp of the Devil race. It was not as special as the other 5 perilous lands, but the Death Knell Graveyard was different. It was the most precious land of the Devil race. Netherworld, Purple Eye, Chiyu, and Heaven Devouring. These 4 Devil Funeral Bells are the most crucial areas, and the chances of the Devil Star being there are the highest. It was very simple. In terms of bloodline, the 4 ancient demon clans were undoubtedly the strongest. With stable inheritance and bloodline continuity, the chances of the Fiend Star being born from the 4 ancient demon clans were much higher than the 10 ancient demon clans and the 108 ancient demon clans. Furthermore, the 10 ancestral demons and the 108 primitive demons did not share the same bloodline in the area of the 12 demon funeral bells. At most, there was a thin trace of bloodline or a mutated but similar bloodline. In the Netherworld Devil Funeral Bells, the greatest danger is the Spirit Emperor. Although he is the last of the 5 emperors of the devil race, his strength is not to be underestimated. Other than the miracle Saint King, no human expert can defeat him. At most it would be a draw. Death's Son said. Lin Feng nodded. Being ranked on the myriad demon list did not mean that one was weak, but that the number of experts of the devil race was greater than that of the humans. Next is the second strongest expert of the netherworld devil race, Yu, ranked on the myriad demon list. He is comparable to the top 3 experts of the netherworld devil list. Death's Son said, as for the sound of death knell, as long as it is not too close to the devil funeral bells, it will not be a big problem. All right, speed up, Lin Feng said. The Spirit Emperor was indeed afraid of him, but Yu, ranked on the myriad demon list, was confident that he could defeat him because Death's Son was assisting him. The netherworld devil race had a fatal weakness. Their temperament was the weakest among the 4 ancient demon clans, and they were even more lustful. His Citaro illusion was enough to deal with them. Yes, Master. Death's Son's darkness origin appeared, increasing his speed. He could feel Lin Feng's confidence. They traveled rapidly. Chi, clang. Death's Son's dagger and Lin Feng's saber started a massacre in the netherworld devil funeral bells. This place was not like the first and second level. No matter how careful they were, they could not avoid the endless number of devils. After all, the 2 of them were passing through the center of the netherworld devil funeral bells. It was not that easy to save time. Chila, the ominous light of death anniversary flashed, and a dark-scaled demon that was dozens of meters tall was torn to pieces. These demons that were comparable to ordinary curse-shatter heavenly demons grew rapidly, but this time they were up against a human supermaster. Boom! Lin Feng swung his black blade of sin. He was like a fish in water here, and he was in a killing mood. His bloodline seemed to have changed, and the origin star world shook. Lin Feng's combat strength was not inferior to Death's Son's at all. His eyes were filled with killing intent, and the might of the evil devil's triple strike was fully displayed. He dealt with the obstacles with the fastest speed. He did not want to stay here any longer. The longer he stayed here, the greater the danger. His intuition told him that they had been targeted. Lin Feng raised his head and looked at the black fog in the sky. It was as if a pair of invisible eyes were staring at him. Dang! The netherworld devil funeral bells rang again, causing the devils to go even crazier. Lin Feng's heart sank, and the ominous light in his eyes deepened. Kill! Boom! 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 Lin Feng and Death's Son attacked again and again, forcing back the devils. Everywhere they went, they left a mess, and countless devils were killed. However, their luck was not bad. Other than the devils, they did not encounter any experts on the myriad demon list. Their journey was surprisingly smooth, so smooth that it was a bit too smooth. It's a little strange. Death's Son frowned. Indeed, Lin Feng's eyes flickered. He and Death's Son had been killing and bathing in blood. At this moment, they had passed through the center of the netherworld devil funeral bells, and they slowly stepped into the border between the netherworld devil funeral bells and the purple-eyed devil funeral bells. The sound of the bells was getting weaker and weaker, and the aura was gradually changing. Although I don't know why, Lin Feng looked up and said, "It's a good thing." Yes, Death's Son was also a smart person. Let's go. We'll find a safe place to recover our combat strength, and then we'll kill our way into the purple-eyed devil funeral bells. Lin Feng's eyes suddenly sharpened, and he tightened his grip on the nefarious black blade. Yes, Master, Death's Son replied. The 2 figures slowly disappeared into the boundless black haze. At this moment, in the center of the netherworld devil funeral bells, a ghostly figure was floating in mid-air with his arms crossed in front of his chest. He had a cold smile on his face. Chapter 11:57. How do you see it? Lin Feng asked. Master, do you want to hear the truth or a lie? Death's Son asked. Lin Feng's eyes flashed. The truth. Death's Son's voice was calm. There must be something wrong if something is out of the ordinary. The nether demon death knell is the outermost area of the 12 demon bells, so it should be heavily guarded to prevent human experts from entering. Lin Feng nodded. Humans and demons were currently in the middle of a game, and the key to the game was the demon star. Continue, Lin Feng said. Death's Son continued. Calm isn't a good thing. It might be a preparation for a huge storm. With my experience, we can't enter the purple-eyed demon death knell area. Firstly, the purple-eyed demon race's senses are stronger, and their race's battle prowess is stronger than the nether demon race. Secondly, the purple-eyed demon death knell area is in the center of the 4 demon death knell areas, especially with the nether demon death knell and Shiyu demon death knell areas, which makes it even more dangerous. Thirdly, Lin Feng said softly, we are alone. Death's Son nodded. Entering the purple-eyed demon race's area bodes ill rather than well. It's definitely a situation of death. I understand. Lin Feng's eyes flickered as he looked at the deep and unknown purple-eyed demon death knell area in the distance. He let out a long breath and looked back at Death's Son. Wait for me here. Death's Son was startled and said, I'm not someone who fears death. I know, Lin Feng said. After forming a soul contract, Death's Son naturally wouldn't go against his orders. Bringing you along will make me an obvious target. If I'm alone, it'll be easier for me to advance and retreat. Lin Feng said, furthermore, your old injuries haven't healed yet. There's no need for you to take the risk again. Why don't you stay in the outer area and recuperate? If I need your help, you can come to my aid immediately. Yes, Master. Death's Son instantly understood Lin Feng's meaning. That's all. Be careful. Lin Feng waved his hand, and his figure flashed and disappeared. After a short recovery, his battle prowess was at its peak again. Even if it's a dragon's lair or a tiger's den, he'd have to make this trip. Shua. Lin Feng entered the area of the purple-eyed demon death knell. A resonant sound came from afar, shaking the depths of his sea of consciousness. Lin Feng's eyes brightened. Unlike the nether fiend death knell, the purple-eyed fiend death knell sound was clear and penetrating, reaching deep into one's soul. Lin Feng said softly, it's quite useful for tempering the talent soul. His body was like a phantom as he sped forward. He wore the Quatero crown on his head and the solitary shadow cloak on his body. He was fully prepared. Although the concealment ability of the Day of Death was very strong, this was still the territory of the purple-eyed demon race. They were the only ancient demon race that cultivated the demon heart. Aside from Demon Eye Emperor, no other purple-eyed demon clan member can sense my presence. Lin Feng knew this very well. However, the Demon Eye Emperor was one of the 5 emperors of the demon race. If his Heaven Eye cultivation had found him, he should have felt something. However, he couldn't care less right now. Since he was already here, he might as well make the best of it. With Manzi's cultivation, she shouldn't be able to withstand the might of the death knell. Strange. Lin Feng was full of doubts. In fact, he had already suspected this when he entered the nether fiend death knell. After entering the purple-eyed fiend death knell, he was even more certain. Not to mention Manzi, even ordinary 10,000 years old experts wouldn't be able to withstand the might of the death knell. Furthermore, she had to withstand it for a long time. The Day of Death must know this as well. That's why she reminded him indirectly. However, he had no way out now. He would only know if it was a blessing or a curse after he tried. Perhaps there were some secrets in the purple-eyed fiend death knell that he didn't know. For example, there were places that could block the sound of the bell. Clang! Lin Feng raised his saber and killed a demonic creature. The characteristics of the devils in every devil death knell region were different. The devils in the nether fiend death knell region were very similar to the nether demon race. They were ghostly, bloodthirsty, and evil. Their attacks were like hidden arrows and daggers that were hard to defend against. The devils here were all like the purple-eyed demon race and had demon hearts. They were good at controlling objects and explosive flows. If he could avoid them, he would avoid them. If he couldn't, he would fight. Lin Feng slowly went deeper. The Metero crown flashed with golden light. Occasionally, he would encounter soul-type devils. With the power of the Metero crown, he could kill them instantly. It saved a lot of effort. The deeper he went, the louder the sound of the bell. However, with the protection of the 10,000 origin mustard stone, it wasn't too much of a problem. The only difference was that the devils were getting stronger. 12 Fiend Death Knell. What secret is it hiding? Lin Feng thought. This place was definitely left behind by the demon race from the previous era. Even the strongest demon race couldn't get close to the Devil Death Knell because of their strength. Perhaps only a cosmic system state could touch the 12 Fiend Death Knell. However, perhaps I can get a try, Lin Feng said to himself. He was confident in his willpower. Moreover, he had the 10,000 origin mustard stone to protect his talent soul. Unlike the other Devil Death Knells, the purple-eyed Fiend Death Knell purely suppressed the talent soul. Just as he was thinking, Lin Feng's footsteps suddenly stopped, and a bright light flashed. Without realizing it, he came to the depths of the purple-eyed Fiend Death Knell. He sensed at least 10 purple-eyed demons ahead. They were all curse-shatter demons. These were probably the strongest elites of the purple-eyed demon race. Their existence and gathering couldn't be separated from their emperor. Demon Eye Emperor. There's no human chi. Lin Feng was shocked. It was not only the aura of a human, but he also could not detect the aura of Demon Eye Emperor. The devil mourning bell rang again, penetrating deep into his soul. Lin Feng frowned, secretly feeling that something was wrong. Impossible. My sensing ability should be stronger than Demon Eye Emperor. Rumble. The entire black demonic haze surged, and a huge aura instantly appeared. Lin Feng's expression instantly became serious. The dozen or so purple-eyed devils in front of him seemed to know that he was coming. They abruptly turned around and formed an arc to surround him. An abnormally enormous aura was approaching from behind. When Lin Feng turned around, the first thing he saw was a pair of extremely demonic eyes. One of them was deep purple, while the other was transparent purple. Demon Eye Emperor. Lin Feng waved his black sword. Legend had it that Demon Eye Emperor was only one step away from the cosmic system state. As long as the other eye evolved into a transparent purple, then he would break through the bottleneck and reach the cosmic system state. I didn't expect there to be another divine force cultivator other than Li Mu Bai. Demon Eye Emperor's voice was like a fishbone stuck in his throat. How did you find me? Lin Feng didn't panic. The Demon Eye Emperor chuckled. His demonic long hair danced in the wind as he revealed a sinister smile. You are so cunning that I wouldn't be able to discover you. However, there is one thing you have forgotten. This is the demon race's territory. I might not be able to discover you, but the purple-eyed demon Death Knell can. Lin Feng was dazed. Purple-eyed demon Death Knell. I've satisfied your curiosity. Next up, Demon Eye Emperor's eyes gradually turned cold, and his sinister smile was filled with killing intent. Time for you to die. Chapter 1158. Purple Eye World. The moment Demon Eye Emperor finished speaking, he had already attacked. Left Purple Eye's ultimate move was unleashed by Demon Eye Emperor, so its power was even stronger. Especially that transparent purple eye, the power that it released was the most terrifying. Lines of demonic runes clearly outlined the world of Purple Eye. The Purple Eye demon clan's innate bloodline power was unleashed. Demon Eye Emperor was ranked 4th on the Myriad Demons leaderboard. However, Metero's crown shone with golden light, and the Purple Eye world was like a tight band that held Lin Feng down. However, the Metero's crown was like an unshakable iron armor that drained Demon Eye Emperor's saint power. What kind of saint treasure is this? Demon Eye Emperor was shocked. The demonic patterns spread like blood vessels as he pursed his sexy lips. Waves of terrifying power erupted again and suppressed the golden light of the Metero's crown. He slowly gained the upper hand. Hope was close at hand. Demon Eye Emperor's eyelashes fluttered as the purple light shrouded him, making him look even more demonic. The 15 broken curse, heavenly demons surrounding Lin Feng did not intervene because they had full confidence in Demon Eye Emperor. Demon Eye Emperor was like a judge who would soon kill this human powerhouse. Bit by bit, Demon Eye Emperor had unknowingly used up a lot of his saint power, but the light of the golden crown was like a candle flame that would not go out. Demon Eye Emperor's face changed, and he was furious. Damn it! The purple light exploded like a bomb, and Demon Eye Emperor's purple eye world shattered. As experienced as she was, she knew that she had been tricked. However, it was too late. Demon Eye Emperor's Saint power had been depleted by more than 80%. Demon Eye Emperor's strength was greatly reduced. The Meteoro's crown on Lin Feng's head shone brightly as the origin of darkness appeared in his hand. He, who had been suppressing the Meteoro's crown, attacked Demon Eye Emperor like a bolt of lightning. Counterattack. To catch bandits, first catch the ringleader. Lin Feng was very clear on this principle. Since he dared to enter the purple-eyed demon Death Knell's area, how could he not have made preparations? Although Meteoro's illusions were ineffective against women, the Meteoro Crown's defense was quite amazing. Not only could it defend against soul-type attacks, but it could also defend against blood-type holy power outbursts, illusions, and other holy power attacks. It was very comprehensive. This was a true cosmic system state treasure. Even if it couldn't unleash its full power now, it still couldn't be underestimated. It could be said that Meteoro's crown was Lin Feng's biggest guarantee when he dared to barge into the purple-eyed demon Death Knell area. Attack! The Demon Eye Emperor roared furiously. In a split second, the 15 fragmentary curse heavenly demons who were watching from the side launched their attacks. The Demon Eye Emperor even used his remaining saint energy to form explosive air bombs. He compressed them to the limit and blasted them at Lin Feng. While attacking, he also acted as a barrier. Ping, ping, bang, bang. As the saint energy clashed with the origin of darkness, Lin Feng charged straight in. The surrounding curse-shattering heavenly demons immediately launched their attacks. Some of them directly launched soul attacks. Some of them attacked with air blasts like the Demon Eye Emperor did, and some of them even controlled their flying swords to attack. Lin Feng was not afraid at all. The nefarious black blade slashed across the huge wheel, and the dark origin rumbled and exploded. It went straight for Demon Eye Emperor. Even if he was injured, it would be worth it. If the Demon Eye Emperor could catch her breath, she alone would be more difficult to deal with than the 15 fragmentary curse heavenly demons. Demonic Devil's Second Strike. Lin Feng's attack was unstoppable. The Demon Eye Emperor tried her best to resist, but Saint Energy cultivators were not as good as martial artists in terms of attack and defense. Once they got close, they would be a great threat to them. Puff! The Demon Eye Emperor spat out blood and retreated. Her seductive eyes were filled with fear and extreme anger. She screamed hysterically like a black widow, venting her anger. She was injured. She had not been injured for tens of thousands of years, but she did not want to be injured by a human pawn. And the situation was critical. Piercing the Emperor, Lin Feng launched another attack. Regardless of whether it was in terms of strength or speed, this time it was even more powerful than the previous attack. His unstoppable attack aimed to take Demon Eye Emperor's life. A black lightning bolt streaked across the sky, determined to succeed. Suddenly, Lin Feng's brows furrowed. A ghostly figure's aura suddenly appeared, appearing like a ghost. Boom, boom, boom. The power of the underworld transformed into an explosive attack that collided with Lin Feng's blade technique. Lin Feng's eyes were filled with disdain and coldness. Lightning crackled and crackled. Similarly, the source of darkness was even more powerful. Lin Feng's right hand became heavier, and a huge rebound force came from the web between his thumb and forefinger. Boom! Lin Feng collided head-on with the strange black shadow and was instantly pushed back. The rest of the fragmentary curse, heavenly demons were not going to stop attacking Lin Feng. All their saint energy attacks were directed at Lin Feng. The Meteoro crown shone brightly. Lin Feng was attacked from the front and back. Although he blocked most of the attacks, he still missed some. After all, it was 15 fragmentary curse, heavenly demons attacking at the same time. The impact alone was quite terrifying. Spirit Emperor, Lin Feng immediately knew the identity of the attacker. The Phantom Emperor was the only one who possessed such strength and the power of the Netherworld. It was no wonder that the Phantom Emperor did not do anything when he passed through the Netherworld's devil funeral knell. He must have set up an inescapable trap here long ago and was waiting to reap the benefits while the Demon Eye Emperor took the lead. It was said that the Nether Devil Clan was cunning. Today, he finally saw it for himself. Break! Lin Feng endured the pain. The black light of the sinful black saber appeared again. Facing the constant attacks of the 15 fragmentary curse heavenly demons, Lin Feng quickly counterattacked. His mind was full of thoughts. He had a simple and quick judgment of the situation. He had to leave, 1 against 2. Although they were the 4th and 5th of the 5 great demon emperors, even if there was only the spirit emperor, he might not be able to win. Moreover, although Tian Ho could not sense it now and was affected by the sound of the devil funeral knell, his intuition told him that there was a very strong force approaching him at an extremely fast speed. The devil clan was obviously well prepared this time. If the devil funeral knell could notify the 5 great demon emperors, it meant that he had been discovered when he entered the nether devil funeral knell. This was a huge trap. Moreover, he did not sense the aura of Manzi or any other human from the beginning to the end. Go. Lin Feng made a prompt decision. Just as he counterattacked the 15 fragmentary curse heavenly demons, Lin Feng brought out the twin phantoms, which were filled with killing intent. A silver-black light flashed, cutting through the thorns and breaking through the encirclement of the devil clan. The source of darkness erupted, and Lin Feng's strength reached its peak. Dang! The deafening sound of the knell rang out, startling the depths of his sea of consciousness. Lin Feng opened his eyes wide, and they shone brightly. It was not that he was shocked by the sound of the knell, but rumble. The earth-shattering sound was earth-shattering. The huge force caused the entire ground to shake. The terrifying aura completely surpassed that of the Spirit Emperor. The shocking saber intent brought with it a strong force. Just the pressure of the aura alone showed how strong it was. Among the 4 great ancient devil clans, the Qiyu clan was famous for their strength and saber arts. Z. The black haze that filled the sky was torn apart by the saber light. A huge and mighty figure appeared in the void. The second demon emperor, Qi Jing. To be continued. Chapter 1159. Tiger Soul Saber. Lin Feng could clearly see the giant Tiger Soul saber in Qi Jing's hand. It was a saber passed down from the Qiyu clan, but it was different from the Tiger Soul saber on Earth. It was made from the spine of a stronger beast, and its power was no weaker than a perfect heaven-ranked saint weapon. His face was like a bull's head, and there were 2 horns on his forehead. His body was covered in scales. Among the 4 ancient demon clans, Lin Feng was very familiar with the Qi clan. Emperor Qi Jing was ranked 2nd on the 10,000 demon rankings. He could fight against the miracle Saint King head-on. His strength had far surpassed the heavenly demon realm. There's also saber arts. It was easy to tell if an expert was skilled or not. In terms of comprehension, the demon race could not compare to the humans. However, Emperor Qi Jing had reached the 6th level of the Saber Heart realm. The Qiyu clan's strength and saber techniques were passed down through generations, coupled with his unique bloodline power. Boom! Emperor Qi Jing's first attack was an afterimage from afar. It forced Lin Feng back. So powerful. Lin Feng's hands were completely numb. He had truly experienced the absolute strength of the strongest expert of the Qiyu clan. Not far away, the spirit sovereign appeared like a ghost. His eyes were cold, and he didn't bother to conceal his killing intent at all. He had grasped the perfect opportunity. Kuntero's illusion. Lin Feng gritted his teeth and directly used it. Emperor's spirit was fast, but he was not faster than Kuntero's illusion. A golden light enveloped him, and a true dragon roared. Lin Feng instantly used the moon shuttle art to escape as fast as he could. The purple-eye bell was still ringing in his ears. Lin Feng's sudden burst of power had caught the 15 Shatter Curse heavenly demons off guard. Bang! Emperor's spirit woke up and was stunned. There was no longer a figure in front of him. Why aren't you chasing after him? Demon Eye Emperor's exasperated voice rang in Emperor Spirit's ears. Emperor Spirit hurriedly gave chase. At this moment, his memory had completely recovered. Even the 15 Shatter Curse heavenly demons gave chase. Those close to him directly used soul attacks to stop Lin Feng. However, their attacks were like hitting a steel castle, completely ineffective. Whoosh! Like a light arrow, Lin Feng could escape as long as he found a gap. In terms of speed, he was confident. Qi Jing was strong, but he could not catch up to him. Only by making a prompt decision could he preserve his life. With a whoosh, the shatter-cursed sky fiends pursued him relentlessly while Quantero's crown protected him firmly. Lin Feng used the crimson whale to fly in the opposite direction, deliberately avoiding this extremely powerful opponent. He had no choice but to do so. Once the crimson whale caught up with him, it would be difficult for him to escape. Dang, the bell rang again, and Lin Feng's sea of consciousness shook again and again. The closer he got to the purple-eyed demon death knell, the greater the pressure he felt. His body trembled slightly, and his speed slowed down. Lin Feng suddenly realized that not only was the distance between them not shortened, it had actually increased by a lot. I'm not the only one affected by the bell. Lin Feng's eyes flashed. He originally wanted to go around the purple-eyed demon death knell and enter the demon death knell region, but he changed his mind. Even though he was confident that he could enter the deeper regions, he might not be able to shake off the 3 demon emperors. If another devil emperor showed up along the way, they would be trapped. Besides, the ambiguity demon death knell would definitely have a greater effect on him than the purple-eyed demon death knell. He had the protection of Matero's crown and the 10,000 origin mustard rock here, but the same could not be said for other places. Let's see how you guys are going to chase me when I'm close to the purple-eyed demon death knell region. Lin Feng thought to himself. As far as he knew, even the purple-eyed demon race would find it difficult to get close to the central region of the demon death knell, let alone other demon races. However, he was not afraid. Rather than running away passively, he might as well take the initiative. Take a risk. He's gone in. The voice was like a bell. It was the mighty Emperor Qi Jing, holding the tiger soul saber. Are we going to chase him? The Phantom Emperor's eyes were cold. If you're not afraid of your soul being scattered, then go in. The Demon Eye Emperor's eyes flashed, and the purple light was demonic and beautiful. Emperor Qi Jing looked at the Demon Eye Emperor. You can't do it either. I can barely enter the second ring. The Demon Eye Emperor said. What's the use? You can't go in. I'm not his match alone. The Demon Eye Emperor still remembered the one-on-one battle just now. This human had greatly exhausted her vitality, and she was not strong enough to catch him. Strange, how can he enter the second ring? The Phantom Emperor wondered. The humans will is stronger than ours, the Emperor Qi Jing said. Moreover, he's a sane energy cultivator. There's no problem for him to enter. If we let him escape, just like that, what about the Supreme Demon Mission? The Phantom Emperor asked. The Emperor Qi Jing frowned and snorted. He was very dissatisfied with the Phantom Emperor and the Demon Eye Emperor. If he was here, how could he let that human escape? Don't worry, he can't escape. The Demon Eye Emperor sneered. My purple-eyed demon death knell will react. If he wants to escape, he'll have to go through either the Netherworld demon death knell or the Chiyu demon death knell. The closer we get to the demon death knell, the greater the exhaustion. We just have to wait for the good news. According to the human's words, the monk can run, but the temple can't. Kakik. Purple-eyed demon death knell. Lin Feng slowly approached. The closer he got to the demon death knell, the stronger the suppression and suffocation. He could no longer sense the 3 auras outside. He knew very well that they had not caught up with him because he had already reached the cordon ring. With the demon death knell as the center, each ring had a limit. 100 meters away was the first ring. This was the most powerful ring. Even those with bloodlines compatible with the demon death knell could not enter. 1,000 meters away was the second ring. Only the most powerful shatter curse heavenly demons, such as the 5 emperors, could enter. However, without compatible bloodlines, it was very difficult to enter. Thus, Lin Feng knew very well that he was very safe right now. The Demon Eye Emperor could enter the second ring, but the Emperor Qi Jing and the Phantom Emperor could not. Dang! The demon death knell rang out again. The pressure in the second ring was extremely heavy. His sacred power was quickly depleted, and a lot of his innate soul's power was dissipated. This was already partially offset by the Quantero crown. If I temper my innate soul here, my strength will increase very quickly, Lin Feng thought to himself. He had the 10,000 origin mustard stone and the purest energy in the universe, Ian crystals. No matter how much his innate soul was depleted, he could quickly replenish it. In the past, his innate soul had an absorption limit. It was like a person who could not eat anymore after eating. Now, it was like his stomach was instantly empty. Ian crystals were an endless source of food. What a pity. Even if my innate soul's strength increases, it will not increase in a short time. Lin Feng frowned. His innate soul was indeed very strong, but he lacked the technique to fully utilize its power. Unless he could cultivate his innate soul to a breakthrough and reach the nebulous state, he would be able to fully utilize the Quantero Crown's power. But was that possible? Who? Lin Feng let out a long breath. His eyes flashed as he slowly walked forward. Right now, he wanted to see the true face of the demon death knell. Chapter 1160. Reeks. The pressure in the second ring was not great, but the pressure in the first ring rose sharply. Clang. Every time the knell rang, it sounded like the true dragon star, causing the entire star to tremble. The true dragon saint force was rapidly consumed. Lin Feng quickly absorbed the two-star universe crystal and converted it into the purest saint power. Fortunately, there was a time interval between each knell, otherwise the true dragon saint power would have been exhausted long ago. Clap. The demon knell intensified the attack on Matero's crown, but the impregnable golden light still built an impenetrable defense to protect Lin Feng. Instead, the knell caused the true dragon star to be more closely connected to the talent soul, accelerating the increase of strength. Hiss! Hiss! Lin Feng was outside the first ring, accelerating the absorption of the two-star universe crystal to maintain the balance of the true dragon star. Lin Feng's gaze fell on a distance not far away. Although it was only 100 meters away, it was like an insurmountable chasm. Every meter of this distance was a heavy obstacle. An invisible force filled the narrow space. Lin Feng could already see the exquisite purple light, as well as what was hidden within it. Purple-eyed demon knell. If it really was left behind by the demons of the previous era, then it might not be as terrifying as imagined. Lin Feng said, "The demons of the previous era were a technological civilization, so all the treasures they left behind might be technological, including the 12 demon knell. If the demon knell was a tool used by a technological civilization to increase bloodline strength, then its lethality was at most a side effect. This was the price to pay. Treasures created by science and technology have a unique characteristic." Lin Feng pondered in his heart. For example, the Phantom Devil G and the Lonely Shadow Cloak. Technology-type treasures had a strong stability. In other words, their upper and lower limits were the same. It was very difficult for them to break through. But at the same time, technological treasures had an excellent characteristic compared to normal energy treasures. Use. Technological treasures did not need to be compatible in the true sense. As long as you could use it, then the technological treasure could at least display the lower limit of its power. Even if it was one of the 3 ancient treasures, the skeleton armor, the clone's strength was far inferior to the main body. It was like a gun. Old people, adults, and children could use it as long as you knew how to use it. Purple-eyed demon death knell. Lin Feng clenched his fists, his power surging. The 12 demon death knell. This was probably the only demon death knell he could obtain. No matter what its true effects were, as long as he could use it, it would definitely increase his combat strength. Perhaps he would have the power to fight Emperor Qi Jing. The possibility of Zhuo Zhigong lying is very small. Manzi might really have been captured and brought to the Death Knell graveyard and handed over to the Demon Eye Emperor. Lin Feng quickly replenished the saint energy that he had consumed and thought carefully. Actually, the source was already very clear. He did not need to beat around the bush. He only needed to target Demon Eye Emperor. If we catch her, we'll know where Manzi is. Let's go all out. Lin Feng's eyes were sharp as he stepped forward. Dang, an invisible force came along with the sound of the bell. Every step he took was extremely stressful for Lin Feng. Rapidly absorbing 2-star universe crystals and replenishing his consumed saint energy was the biggest obstacle that was currently obstructing Lin Feng. The saint power that the true dragon star could hold was still not enough. Within 100 meters of the first ring, one already had the strength of a nebulous state. To truly get close to the purple demon death knell, one must have the strength of a nebulous state and a talent soul. Furthermore, the saint energy has already been transformed into a higher level of realm force. Lin Feng's every step was arduous. The further he went, the harder it got. The saint energy consumed with every step increased exponentially, including the pressure on the talent soul. If not for the weakening effect of the Quatero crown, the saint energy consumption would be at least 10 times higher. On the other hand, the pressure on the talent soul became an advantage. Lin Feng completely hid the talent soul in the 10,000 origin mustard stone, not to mention a mere purple demon death knell. Even if all 12 demon death knells came together, it would still be able to resist them. The 10,000 origin mustard stone was like an indestructible fortress that firmly guarded the talent soul. 80 meters, 70 meters, 60 meters. The ringing of the purple-eyed demonic death knell caused waves to surge in his spiritual sea, causing it to shake repeatedly. The supply of saint power could no longer keep up with the consumption. Lin Feng's eyes flashed, and the 2-star universe crystal disappeared in an instant, replaced by a 3-star universe crystal. In an instant, he became excited, and boundless energy surged into his body. The 3-star universe crystal was pure energy at the nebula level. It was converted, absorbed, and consumed at an astonishing speed. Lin Feng suddenly felt the pressure on him lighten. He took a step forward, and each step was a full 10 meters. In an instant, he crossed from 60 meters to 30 meters. His sea of consciousness seemed to have collapsed. At such a close distance, the energy cycle was too much for a stellar-level sea of consciousness to bear. 4th level life breaker. 5th level life breaker. 6th level life breaker. The cultivation speed of a talent soul could be said to be terrifying. Lin Feng could already see the hazy figure in the transparent purple light in front of him. The short distance of 30 meters was covered in one step, and he could reach it with just a stretch of his hand. However, he chose to retreat. Lin Feng's figure jumped and retreated from 30 meters to the boundary between the first and second ring. His breathing was rapid, and his chest rose and fell rapidly. His sea of consciousness, which was about to collapse, gradually stabilized. The true dragon star replenished its energy and returned to normal. That was close. Lin Feng shivered inwardly. Although his talent soul would be fine, if his sea of consciousness collapsed, it would be like the shattering of the origin star realm. It would not be easy to rebuild it. He could indeed get close to the purple demon death knell. Whether it was the saint power or the talent soul, he could ensure that nothing would go wrong. If he had forced his way in just now, he might have been fine, but his sea of consciousness might have collapsed. Even if it was not completely shattered, it would most likely affect his future strength. Giving up just like that? Of course not. Because of the probing just now, Lin Feng now had a safer way, so he chose to retreat. If there was a better way, he naturally did not want to take the risk. Feeling the transformation of the true dragon star in his sea of consciousness, Lin Feng was very satisfied. The purple-eyed demon death knell was a super treasure that aided cultivation. Here, his talent soul could be cultivated to the peak of the life breaker. It was very fast. Lin Feng stopped 40 meters away from the first ring. His sea of consciousness shook again and again, like the angry roar of a sea god, but did not threaten the foundation of his sea of consciousness. The 3-star universe crystal flashed and was consumed at an astonishing speed. The true dragon star was upgraded again and again at the speed of light. The true dragon star evolved into his sea of consciousness, and his strength level rose rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. 7th level life breaker, 8th level life breaker, 9th level life breaker. Energy to the 3-star universe crystal was endless. The energy of a nebula was too abundant. The true dragon star gradually overflowed. Lin Feng took a deep breath and stepped forward again. Although it was less than an hour ago, it was different now. It was completely different. Chapter 1161. Recommended reading. Everything was ready, only one thing was missing. Compared to the powerhouses of Nemo Planet, Lin Feng clearly knew the conditions to step from the star level to the star level. First, the heaven-level cultivation needed to open the second aperture. Secondly, one's strength needed to reach the peak, and the Saint 4-star needed to be perfect. Lastly, the strength of the soul, the level of the talent's soul, the bloodline awakening, and the body's endurance. One needed to constantly cultivate and cultivate to push the sea of consciousness to the peak. Simply put, it was a helping hand. And now, the purple-eyed demon death knell's bell chimes, and pressure perfectly unleashed this power, erupting to the extreme, constantly stimulating the sea of consciousness. Lin Feng stepped forward step by step. The 3-star universe crystal provided endless energy, and the 10,000 origin mustard stone protected the talent soul. Lin Feng's eyes shone brightly. Every step he took was like stepping into a new world and opening a new door. And the name of this new world is called Realm C. Boom! Under the crushing pressure of endless pressure, his sea of consciousness collapsed, the intense collapse causing the true dragon star to suddenly transform. The perfect true dragon origin point was like a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon, displaying astonishing changes. Lin Feng already released his innate soul, becoming the center of the entire Realm C. Hua, the energy of the 3-star universe crystal poured in. The talent's soul absorbed it to the extreme. The true dragon origin point also shone brightly. His entire body seemed to be hollowed out. Strange energy poured in. This was a new power, a new level, a new realm. Cells divided, bones regenerated, bloodline changed. Lin Feng enjoyed the comprehensive transformation of his body. Although it was only the talent soul and not the earth soul, it was still a major breakthrough. Even the origin star realm expanded rapidly. The leap in life's level increased his mental range. However, the 4th-level origin star realm already stood at a very high position. Although the increase was huge, it couldn't surpass another level. Realm power, this is realm power. Lin Feng soon felt the appearance of a new realm power. With the talent soul as the center, the new realm power condensed and slowly formed the new Realm C. It was the composition of the Realm C, the power of the Realm C. Swish, swish. One after another, 3-star universe crystals were consumed. A new Realm C required an enormous amount of energy. Under normal circumstances, a martial artist would need dozens of days or even months of seclusion to form a Realm C. But Lin Feng didn't need that long. He had enough resources and energy. After experiencing the transformation of his body, his sea of consciousness, and his true dragon origin point, Lin Feng was only one step away from the purple-eyed demon death knell. The transparent purple light was right in front of him, but when the bell rang, it could no longer stop Lin Feng. Reaching out his hand, Lin Feng directly touched that picturesque, translucent purple light. In an instant, it was as bright as fireworks. The translucent purple light turned into dust, like countless fireflies scattering in the air. The astonishing purple light was contained in the dust. Whoosh! At this moment, Lin Feng's body was like a black hole, greedily absorbing all the energy. Endless translucent purple light poured in and turned into starlight under the attraction of a new Realm C. Suddenly, the true dragon origin point was like a magnet, sucking in the starlight. Lin Feng was completely shocked. Seeing the true dragon origin point wrapped in endless faint purple light, but he was powerless to do anything. The evolution of the Realm C and true dragon origin point was like a speeding train. It was difficult to change direction. He could only watch as the two combined and changed, not knowing what was about to happen. The Realm C shook violently. The true dragon origin point's energy changed, and the addition of new energy affected the true dragon origin point's evolution. Lin Feng's eyes flashed. Strands of faint purple light instantly condensed into a deep purple color. As the true dragon origin point emitted purple light, more and more starlight was sucked in, wrapped in endless realm sea's power. Lin Feng's eyes also turned into translucent purple light. His heartbeat quickened. Purple demonic runes flashed in his mind, as if they were engraved on the true dragon origin point, clear and natural. Every demonic rune seemed to contain extreme power, the universe's strongest secret. Lin Feng felt the true dragon star's transformation. His own transformation. He had fused with the purple eye talent. Moreover, not only was it a cosmic system level purple eye, but it was also a pair of purple eyes that was completely compatible with the true dragon's realm force, forming a new realm force. Let's call it true dragon purple eyes. Lin Feng could clearly feel his newly obtained realm force. It was incomparably strong. Compared to the purple-eyed demon race, it was like comparing a grand magus to a junior magus. Just the difference in talent soul alone was enough to crush it. Now, I should be able to unlock the strongest secret of the Quatero crown. Lin Feng poured in the new realm force. The layer of information hidden in the center of the Quatero crown was torn apart like paper, revealing everything. Other than the basic defense ability and dual cultivation method, the Quatero crown's special ability was the Quatero illusion. A cosmic system level dual cultivation method, Lin Feng exclaimed. Other than the ordinary dual cultivation method, there was also such a shocking secret method. Lin Feng was deeply immersed in it without any intention of blasphemy. There must be a reason for the existence of any cultivation method, especially this set of Quatero's 18 forms. The earliest dual cultivation method was the foundation. Just like saber training, the foundation was the most important. Once the foundation was solid, one would enter a deeper level of saber technique comprehension. The Quatero's 18 forms was like that. The basic dual cultivation method was built on the desire of the body, but the Quatero's 18 forms was a sublimation level, a perfect combination of the spirit and desire. This was a Tao of the heart, not inferior to the cultivation of the earth's spirit and talent soul at all. This Tao can not only lead to the cosmic system level, but it can even reach the black hole level. Lin Feng was shocked. "It's amazing," Lin Feng exclaimed. There was only one condition to cultivate the Quatero's 18 forms, and that was that the dual cultivators must be truly in love. It seemed simple, but it was not. This was not only the best cultivation method to prolong one's life, but it was also a blessing for ordinary people. One did not need to have a strong aptitude. As long as one was willing to persevere in cultivation, one could break through to the cosmic system level. For martial artists with poor aptitude, this Tao was extremely good. However, its shortcomings were also fatal. First of all, the cultivation of the heart meant that one's combat power would not be too strong. Secondly, the cultivation time was very long. I don't need it, but many people can use it. Lin Feng was very satisfied. Although the Quatero crown's ultimate move disappointed him, one could not just look at the surface. The Quatero's 18 forms was a priceless treasure to the humans on Earth. His combat power was strong enough now. Even if the Quatero illusion was only a basic attack ability, he was now using it to attack. It was the realm force, cosmic system force. There's also this. Lin Feng reached out and touched a mysterious and magnificent giant bell covered in purple demonic light in front of him. Purple-eyed demonic death bell to be continued. Chapter 1162. Hua. Realm power lit up the purple-eyed demon death knell, and the sound of the knell disappeared. The mysterious and majestic purple-eyed demon death knell lost its luster. The huge demonic death knell shrunk and turned into a mini purple-eyed demon death knell that fell into Lin Feng's hand. A cosmic system treasure. Lin Feng was very satisfied. He had obtained another nebula-grade treasure, and it was also a realm force treasure. The power of the purple-eyed demon death knell was similar to that of Quantero's crown, clearly imprinted in his mind. It also included one basic ability and two special abilities. The purple-eyed demon death knell can be big, or small. Cultivating in the demon death knell, listening to the purple-eyed demon death knell, and absorbing the purple eye's energy can increase the purple eye's talent and cultivation. It was a very basic ability, but it was very practical. Lin Feng had just obtained the purple eye true dragon and did not know how to improve it. The purple eye demon death knell was undoubtedly a solution. But two special abilities, Lin Feng muttered. Purple eye suppression requires the second aperture to be opened, while purple eye funeral music requires the third aperture to be opened. With his cultivation, he could use purple eye suppression, but realm power was far from enough. Purple eye demon death knell region. What's going on? Why can't I feel any power? The knell stopped. The purple-eyed demon race's cursed shatterer demons were all shocked. They who were immersed in cultivation woke up one by one and looked at each other, not knowing what happened. Demon Eye Emperor floated in the air, her long hair fluttering in the wind. Her pair of strange demon eyes flashed, and she had a puzzled expression. She did not know what happened either. The purple-eyed demon death knell's reaction disappeared. It's that human. Demon Eye Emperor had a flash of inspiration. The Demon Eye Emperor frowned. She didn't know what method the human had used, but this had never happened before in the history of the Purple Eye Demon clan. It was as if the door had been closed, completely sealed. Damn it! Demon Eye Emperor hesitated. She wanted to immediately go and check, but she was afraid it was a trap. Moreover, the battle with Lin Feng from before still left her with lingering fear. Dang dang the bells of the Nether Devil funeral bell and Chi Yu Devil funeral bell rang. Both Sovereign Yu Spirit and Sovereign Qi Jing widened their eyes in shock. Lin Feng had just entered the 12 Devil Death Knell, so he couldn't tell the difference between the bells. However, the 5 demonic sovereigns were in the 12 Devil Death Knell all year round, so nothing could escape their notice. Here, they are absolute emperors. If human experts dared to enter, it would be like entering the demon race's maze. They would be at the mercy of the demons. The 12 Devil Death bells were a whole. Once when the Devil Death bells disappeared, the balance would be broken and the cycle would be broken. How could they not notice it? The 2 Devil Emperors' expressions changed instantly. Their figures flashed and disappeared into their respective Devil Death bells. Something big has happened, where the purple-eyed demon death knell was. At this moment, Lin Feng was nowhere to be seen. All that was left was a giant purple bell that was 100 meters wide and dozens of meters tall. It was like a giant standing on this land. Lines of extremely fine demonic inscriptions shone with a demonic light, occasionally emitting purple light. Purple-eyed Devil Death Knell, it seemed motionless, but in fact, the demonic inscriptions were operating. The Devil Death Knell was vibrating gently. Lin Feng sat cross-legged inside the bell. Purple energy was constantly being absorbed into his body, strengthening the purple-eyed Devil True Dragon's energy. The energy consumption of the 3-star universe crystal was extremely fast. The formation of the new Realm C was coming to an end. For other Realm Force cultivators, the formation of the Realm C would take a long time, but Lin Feng completely compressed this long time. He absorbed the pure energy, and with the new talent soul as the source, the entire Realm C completely changed Lin Feng's life level. Realm Force cultivators. They were existences on the same level as nebulous state martial artists. Opening the Realm C and forming a world of its own, the Origin Star Realm was like a boundless world. Every inch of space in the Realm C was filled with powerful Realm Force. The Talent Soul was the source and center of the Realm C. The purple-eyed Devil True Dragon was the essence energy of the entire Realm C. Oh! Suddenly, Lin Feng opened his eyes. A transparent purple light flashed, and he instantly returned to normal. A faint smile appeared on his face. Through the purple-eyed Devil Death Knell, he could sense the arrival of 3 familiar auras. With his current Realm Force senses, he could sense them. He could sense them everywhere on the Nemo planet. Purple-eyed Devil Death Knell, the Demon Eye Emperor exclaimed. So this is the Devil Death Knell's true appearance. The Phantom Emperor was also astonished. Emperor Qi Jing carried the Tiger Soul Battle Saber and stood between Demon Eye Emperor and Spirit Emperor like a huge mountain. His domineering eyes stared straight at the devil death knell, unable to look away. Although they were one of the 5 sovereigns, none of them had actually seen the devil death knell's true appearance. Even if their bloodlines were compatible, they could only enter the second ring. The devil death knell's exterior was concealed. The bell has stopped ringing. Emperor Qi Jing's expression was solemn. The pressure has also disappeared. The Phantom Emperor looked around coldly. That human is also gone. The Demon Eye Emperor nodded. I can't sense any aura from him. He should have left. Also, the Demon Eye Emperor looked straight at the purple-eyed devil death knell and gritted his teeth. I don't know what he did to the devil death knell to destroy it. He didn't come to my territory, Emperor Qi Jing said. There's no reaction from my side either, the Phantom Emperor said. The Demon Eye Emperor's eyes turned cold. He must have entered the devil death knell's area. That brat isn't stupid. Will something happen if he goes in? The Phantom Emperor revealed a worried expression. It's fine, Emperor Qi Jing said. The Demon Eye Emperor said disdainfully. He can get past us, but he can't get past the sovereign demons. That stupid human thought that we were really attacking their broken regions and was so scared that he couldn't move. He didn't know that we were just creating a diversion to stall for time. The Phantom Emperor laughed coldly. If humans are stupid, then wouldn't the demons be even more stupid? Kakik. All right, don't be careless, Emperor Qi Jing said. The heavy armor on his shoulders shook, and the Tiger Soul Saber flashed with a sharp killing intent. Let's go and see what's going on with the purple-eyed devil death knell. The Phantom Emperor and the Demon Eye Emperor nodded, and the 3 demonic emperors walked towards the purple-eyed devil death knell. Although the purple-eyed devil death knell was no longer powerful, the flashing purple demonic patterns still made the 3 demonic emperors wary. They didn't dare to get close to it. After all, everyone had experienced the power of the devil death knell. The air seemed to have frozen. The closer the 3 demonic emperors got to it, the more they felt that something was wrong. This was especially so for the strongest Emperor Qi Jing and the Demon Eye Emperor, who had the deepest understanding of the purple-eyed devil death knell. Wait! The Demon Eye Emperor was naturally suspicious. He stopped the other 2 demonic emperors. Just as he was about to speak, the ground suddenly shook violently. The purple-eyed demonic death bell, which had been motionless all this time, suddenly trembled and shrank. Purple runes appeared on it, and in the instant that the 3 sovereigns were dumbfounded, it shot out like a cannonball with a boom, heading straight for Emperor Qi Jing, the strongest of them all. Chapter 1163. Hua, the realm power lit up the purple-eyed demon death knell, and the sound of the knell disappeared. The mysterious and majestic purple-eyed demon death knell lost its luster. The huge knell slowly shrunk and turned into a mini purple-eyed demon death knell in Lin Feng's hand. A cosmic system-level treasure. Lin Feng was very satisfied. He had obtained another nebula-grade treasure, and it was also a realm force treasure. The power of the purple-eyed demon death knell was similar to that of Quantero's crown, clearly imprinted in his mind. It also included 1 basic ability and 2 special abilities. The purple-eyed demon death knell can be big or small. Cultivating in it, listening to the sound of the purple-eyed demon death knell, and absorbing the energy of the purple eye can improve the talent of the purple eye. It was a very basic ability, but it was very practical. Lin Feng had just obtained the purple eye true dragon and did not know how to improve it. The purple-eyed demon death knell undoubtedly solved the problem. But 2 special abilities, Lin Feng murmured. The purple eye suppression requires the second aperture to open, and the purple-eyed demon death knell requires the 3rd aperture to open. With his cultivation level, he could use the purple eye suppression, but the realm power, it was far from enough. Purple-eyed demon death knell region. What's going on? Why can't I feel the power? The knell stopped. All the purple-eyed demon race's curse-shattering demons were shocked. They who were immersed in cultivation woke up one by one and looked at each other, not knowing what had happened. Demon Eye Emperor floated in the air, her long hair dancing in the wind, her strange demon eyes flashing, and her gloomy expression confused. She did not know what had happened either. The purple-eyed demon death knell's reaction had disappeared. It's that human. Demon Eye Emperor had a flash of inspiration. Demon Eye Emperor frowned. She did not know what method the human used, but such a situation had never happened before in the history of the purple-eyed demon race. It was as if the door had been closed and completely sealed. Damn it! Demon Eye Emperor was hesitant. She wanted to go check it out immediately, but she was afraid that it was a trap. Plus, the battle with Lin Feng had left her with lingering fear. Dang! Dang! The Nether Demon Death Knell region and the Chiyu Demon Death Knell region rang. The Phantom Emperor and Emperor's eyes widened in shock. Lin Feng Knell Demon Death Knell region had just entered Demon Death Knell region, but the Demon Race 5 Demon Emperors were Demon Death Knell region all year round, and nothing could escape them. Here, they were absolute emperors. If human experts dared to enter, it would be like entering the demon race's maze. They would be at the mercy of the demons. The 12 Devil Death Bells were a whole. Once when the Devil Death Bells disappeared, the balance would be broken and the cycle would be broken. How could they not notice it? The 2 Devil Emperors' expressions changed instantly. Their figures flashed and disappeared into their respective Devil Death Bells. Something was Bell Knell at this moment. Lin Feng was nowhere to be seen. All that was left was a giant purple bell that was 100 meters wide and dozens of meters tall. It was like a giant standing on this land. Lines of extremely fine demonic inscriptions shone with a demonic light, occasionally emitting purple light. Purple-eyed Demon Death Knell. Although it seemed motionless, the demonic patterns were actually revolving. The demonic death bell was gently vibrating. Lin Feng sat cross-legged inside the bell. Purple energy was constantly being absorbed into his body, strengthening the purple eye of the true dragon. The energy consumption of the 3-star universe crystal was extremely fast. The formation of the new Realm Sea was already nearing its end. To other Realm Force cultivators, the formation of the Realm Sea required a very long time. But Lin Feng was able to compress this long time and absorb the pure energy. The entire Realm Sea used the newly born innate soul as the origin point, completely changing Lin Feng's life level. Realm Force cultivators. They were on the same level as cosmic system states. Opening up the Realm Sea and forming a world of its own, the Origin Star Realm was like a boundless world. Every inch of space in the Realm Sea was overflowing with powerful and abundant Realm Force. Innate Soul was the source and center of the Realm Sea. The true Dragon Purple Eyes star was the essence energy of the entire Realm Sea. Oh! Suddenly, Lin Feng opened his eyes. A transparent purple light flashed past and returned to normal in an instant. The corner of his mouth raised into a faintly discernible smile. Through the purple demonic death knell, he felt the arrival of 3 familiar auras. With his current senses as a Realm Force cultivator, he could sense them in the entire Nemo planet. Purple demonic death bell. Demon Emperor exclaimed. This is the true face of a demonic death bell. Phantom Emperor was also shocked. Emperor Qi Jing carried the Tiger Soul Battle Saber and stood between Demon Emperor and Spirit Emperor like a huge mountain. His domineering eyes stared straight at the Devil Death Knell, unable to look away. Although they were one of the 5 emperors, none of them had seen the true face of the demonic death bell. Even if their bloodlines were compatible, they could only enter the second ring. There was a cover outside the demonic death bell. The bell has stopped ringing. Emperor Qi Jing's expression was solemn. The pressure is gone too. The Spirit Emperor coldly surveyed the surroundings. That human is gone as well. Demon Emperor nodded. I can't sense his aura. He should have left. Also, looking straight at the purple demonic death bell, Demon Emperor gritted his teeth. I don't know what he did to the demonic death bell to destroy it. He didn't come to my territory, Emperor Qi Jing said. There's no reaction from my side either, Phantom Emperor said. Demon Emperor's eyes turned cold. He must have entered the demonic death bells area. That brat isn't stupid. Will something happen if he goes in? Phantom Emperor looked worried. It's fine, Emperor Qi Jing said. Demon Emperor sneered. He can get past us, but he can't get past the supreme celestial demon. That stupid human thought that we were really attacking their territory and was so scared that he couldn't move. He didn't know that we were just trying to buy time. Phantom Emperor laughed coldly. If humans are stupid, then the demons are even more stupid. He. All right, don't be careless, Emperor Qi Jing said. The heavy armor on his shoulders shook. His tiger soul saber flashed with murderous intent. Let's go see what's going on with the purple-eyed demonic death bell. Phantom Emperor and Demon-eyed Emperor nodded. The three demonic emperors walked toward the purple-eyed demonic death bell. Although the purple-eyed demonic death bell had lost its power, the flashing purple demonic patterns still made the three demonic emperors wary. They didn't dare to go near it. After all, everyone had experienced the power of the demonic death bell. The air seemed to have frozen. The closer the three demonic emperors got to it, the more they felt that something was wrong. This was especially so for Emperor Qi Jing, who was the strongest, and Demon-Eye Emperor, who knew the purple-eyed demonic death bell the best. Wait, Demon-Eye Emperor was suspicious by nature. He stopped Emperor Qi Jing and Phantom Emperor. Just as he was about to speak, the ground shook violently. The purple-eyed demonic death bell, which had been motionless all this time, suddenly shook and shrank. Purple patterns appeared on it. While the three demonic emperors were dumbfounded, the bell shot out like a cannonball and went straight for Emperor Qi Jing. Chapter 1164. In such a short distance, Emperor Qi Jing had no way of dodging. Qi. The Tiger Soul Battle Saber slashed out in an arc that tore through space. Emperor Qi Jing was indeed worthy of being a top-ranked expert on the 10,000 demons list. His instantaneous reaction was enough to prove his strength. He used his strongest attack to forcefully block the incoming purple-eyed demonic death knell. Pong! The sound of metal colliding was earth-shattering. The sound of the bell reverberated, causing the Demon-Eye Emperor and the Spirit Emperor's minds to go blank. They retreated abruptly. Emperor Qi Jing was in an even more miserable state. The impact of the purple-eyed demonic death knell was terrifying. It forcefully knocked away the Tiger Soul Battle Saber and completely dented Emperor Qi Jing's perfect heaven-ranked armor. The impact sent Emperor Qi Jing's huge figure flying. What happened? Demon-Eye Sovereign and Phantom Sovereign were still in a daze, their eyes widened in shock. The purple-eyed demon death knell that had just knocked Emperor Qi away suddenly rose up into the air and let out a rumbling sound. However, it did not have the same demonic power as before. With this the purple-eyed demon death knell actually flew back and a figure stood in the distance. It's him. Demon-Eye Emperor and Spirit Emperor regained their senses, but it was too late. The purple-eyed demonic death knell flew out again, not any weaker than before. This time, it went straight for Spirit Emperor. Shwa! Spirit Emperor's face turned pale. He had personally witnessed the impact of the purple-eyed demonic death knell. Even Emperor Qi Jing wouldn't be able to withstand a direct hit from it. The image of Azura appeared, and crackling sounds of lightning crackling could be heard. The Spirit Sovereign resisted the attacks while retreating at the same time. Qi, Lin Feng's eyes flashed. He clenched his right hand, and the purple-eyed demonic death knell made a 30-degree turn, heading straight for where Spirit Emperor was hiding. Pong! An afterimage was shattered by the purple-eyed demonic death knell. Spirit Emperor spat out a mouthful of blood and retreated with an ugly expression. Although it didn't hit him head-on, it was enough to injure him. Without any hesitation, Spirit Emperor turned into Shura's figure and disappeared. He wasn't that stupid to flee in the face of disaster. All right, Lin Feng's eyes flashed. This was the result he wanted. Actually, his chances of winning in a 1 versus 3 battle weren't high. Even if he had already broken through to become a Realm Force cultivator, his newly born Realm Force was still like a seedling that had yet to truly mature. He had the confidence to win against any one of them in a 1 versus 1 battle, but in a 1 versus 3 battle, the attack of the purple-eyed demon funeral knell just now could be seen. He was still unable to fully control this cosmic class treasure. What he used was not its true offensive ability, but the most basic ability of a sacred force cultivator, object control. Roar! Angry roars filled the air. Lin Feng put away the purple-eyed demon death knell once more. The realm sea churned as the energy of the three-star universe crystals was rapidly absorbed and restored. He was very clear that his earlier attack had only lightly injured this rancor on the myriad devil rankings. It was not that easy to defeat Emperor Qi Jing. Clang! The earth-shaking attack arrived as Emperor Qi Jing's tyrannical attack descended from the sky. The Tiger Soul Battle Saber exploded with extreme power. His saber heart at the peak of the 6th tier was comparable to a human's. The Qiyu clan was not only born with divine strength, but they also had a talent for the saber that even humans envied. Emperor Qi Jing's murderous intent completely erupted. There was no complicated energy addition, only the purest essence of strength. Coupled with his perfect saber heart at the peak of the 6th tier, he displayed the essence of the saber Dao to its fullest. Any technique displayed to the extreme would have terrifying power. Lin Feng was clear that in terms of close combat, he was still not a true match for Emperor Qi Jing, but there was no need for that now. Rumble. The purple-eyed demon Death Knell blasted out once more. This direct object control attack was simple and violent. There was no technique to speak of. However, Lin Feng was a realm force cultivator. The power of his realm force alone was enough. It was as if he was standing on a high platform. Pung, pung, pung. After 3 consecutive collisions, Lin Feng had used up a lot of realm force. Each collision caused Emperor Qi Jing to retreat without success. His huge body was bursting with demonic energy. The more he fought, the crazier he became. It was obvious that his strength was at its peak. Lin Feng was secretly impressed. Dark purple light covered the area. The wonderful demon Eye drew out the purple eye world. Emperor Demon Eye, who had not made a move all this time, finally made his move. He blocked Lin Feng at the perfect time, creating an excellent opportunity for Emperor Qi Jing to attack. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 3 beams of cold light shot out. The Demon Eye Emperor had learned from his previous battle with Lin Feng, and directly used his ability to control objects to strengthen his attack. As a Saint Power cultivator, and with the powerful Purple Eye talent, the Demon Eye Emperor's attack ability was quite comprehensive. However, this time, Li Gui met Li Kui. Lin Feng's eyes suddenly changed. 2 translucent purple lights flashed, and the purple eyes of the true dragon unleashed its power for the first time. The Purple Eye world that the Demon Eye Emperor had just set up had no secrets to speak of. In an instant, the hunter became the prey, and the controller became the entrant. Demon Eye, what are you doing? Emperor Qi Jing was shocked and angry. He was in the middle of a heated battle with Lin Feng. Suddenly, he fell into the Purple Eye world. Emperor Qi Jing knew Emperor Demon Eye's moves very well. Now, he had completely tricked him and was dragging him down. What Emperor Qi Jing did not know was that Emperor Demon Eye was even more shocked than he was. Emperor Demon Eye was completely stunned when he stepped into his Purple Eye world. What happened? The 3 cold flying swords lost their target in an instant. Before Emperor Demon Eye could react, a purple light with a deafening sound suddenly attacked him. It was the Purple Eye Demon Death Knell that shocked him. No! Emperor Demon, I wanted to block it. He quickly controlled the 3 flying swords. But in the face of the purple demonic pattern, it was like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. He could not stop it at all. With a loud boom, Demon Eye Emperor was directly crushed. The powerful impact heavily injured her, and she fainted as she screamed. At this moment, bang! The Purple Eye world was destroyed, revealing Emperor Qi Jing's furious figure. The Tiger Soul Saber was full of killing intent. Emperor Qi Jing roared with a frenzied battle intent. However, he had lost Emperor Ghost and Emperor Demon Eye. With just Emperor Qi Jing alone, he had no chance of winning. 1 against 3, Lin Feng was not afraid. 1 against 1, he was even less afraid. As long as Emperor Qi Jing couldn't break through his telekinesis attack, there was no way he could win against him. Although he was only using the most basic telekinesis, the boundless realm power was just right to deal with Emperor Qi Jing, who only had brute strength. As Emperor Qi Jing's attacks were not successful, his energy was depleted. Lin Feng quickly took control of the situation. Roar! Emperor Qi Jing roared angrily, full of unwillingness. However, he knew that he could not defeat this human in front of him. If he continued to fight, it would be even more disadvantageous for him. He could only swallow his anger. Emperor Qi Jing retreated angrily and suffered a crushing defeat. Looking at Emperor Qi Jing's retreating figure, Lin Feng's lips curled into a smile. He would not chase after him. Firstly, he was not confident. Secondly, there was no need to. It was not important whether he killed Emperor Qi Jing or not. What was important was her. Lin Feng's gaze fell on Emperor Demon Eye. Chapter 1165. Let's form a soul contract, or your soul will be destroyed. Lin Feng released his realm power. For example, if the tall man bullied the short man and used his realm energy to crush his saint energy, Lin Feng could forcefully destroy and devour the Demon Eye Emperor and obtain his memories. However, this would be troublesome after all. Furthermore, the Demon Eye Emperor who possessed the Purple Eye's inherent skill would not be so easily taken advantage of. It would be best for both parties to form a soul contract. After all, Demon Eye Emperor was one of the 5 emperors of the demon race. She was ranked 4th on the 1,000 demon ranking. She was only a prisoner because her powers countered his. Moreover, her talent was quite good. One of her eyes was purple, which was equivalent to having 1 foot in the cosmic system state. As long as she was allowed to cultivate in the purple-eyed demon Death Knell, she would be able to turn her talent into strength and break through to become a realm force cultivator. I'm willing. Demon Eye Emperor's sexy red lips curled up. Her purple eyes were sad. She had no other choice. Losing her soul was scarier than dying. She didn't doubt that the human in front of her had the power to do so. His saint power had completely exceeded the power level of the Nemo planet. The dark demon heart surged. In an instant, boundless power enveloped the human and demon. After Left Purple Eye, Wulin, and Death Day, this was the 4th subordinate. Master! The sadness in Demon Eye Emperor's eyes disappeared quickly and turned into loyalty. The soul contract was very binding. Even if Lin Feng was her father's murderer, she would still obey and respect him. Where is the human you captured? Lin Feng asked directly. At the Supreme Demon's place. Demon Eye Emperor said. Supreme Demon? Lin Feng frowned. Who is the Supreme Demon? Where is he now? Demon Eye Emperor said. The Supreme Demon is what humans call the Demon Star. The Supreme Demon is called the Supreme Demon when the Supreme Demon Death Knell is rung. Our ancestors have decreed that as long as a Supreme Heavenly Devil is born, all of the Devil Clan must serve that Supreme Heavenly Devil as their master and obey their orders. Manzi was in the hands of the Demon Star. Lin Feng's heart skipped a beat, and he had a bad feeling. Just from the sound of it, a sovereign heaven demon was not simple. Where? Lin Feng pursed his lips. The military throat Demon Death Knell area. Demon Eye Emperor said. Whoosh. A figure was flying at high speed. It was Lin Feng. Holding on to Demon Eye Emperor's soft waist, Lin Feng headed towards the Demon Death Knell area without slowing down. The military throat Demon Death Knell region belonged to the 12 Demon Death Knell region. Different from the 4 ancient demon bloodlines, it was located at the innermost part of the 12 Demon Death Knell region, the second last region. In other words, it was the second most powerful bloodline of the 12 demon clans. No wonder the supreme bell of the 9 extreme numbers would ring. Lin Feng thought to himself, 200 million years ago, the death knell of the 98th supreme being was rung. Qi Hong had coincidentally triggered the death knell of the death god devil and obtained a great opportunity. His marrows and meridians were cleansed and his bloodline mutated. At that time, he was almost invincible on Nemo planet as a supreme celestial devil. The Grim Reaper's Devil Morning Bell region was ranked 3rd out of the 12 Devil Morning Bells. Times have changed. Now, both the demons and humans are stronger than they were 200 million years ago. Demon Eye Emperor said, it is difficult for a supreme celestial devil to dominate Nemo planet. However, the supreme celestial devil had broken through to the curse-shattering celestial devil not long ago. His battle power is comparable to the human miracle Saint King. Lin Feng was shocked. He had just broken through to the curse-shattering celestial devil and was already comparable to the human miracle Saint King, who had been in the life-breaking stage for countless years. This supreme celestial devil was indeed terrifying. In my opinion, the humans who were taken away are probably... Demon Eye Emperor wanted to say something, but stopped. I know what to do. Lin Feng interrupted him. He knew what Demon Eye Emperor wanted to say. With his current strength, he would not be able to survive against the supreme celestial devil. Even if he was already a realm force cultivator, and it had been so long, the chances of those humans surviving were very slim. Yes, Master, Demon Eye Emperor said. Whoosh! Lin Feng's speed reached the maximum. His realm force spread out completely. A huge demon monster appeared in front of him. A purple light flashed as the purple-eyed demon Death Knell opened a path and smashed the huge demon monster into pieces. Even Emperor Qi Jing could not defend against the impact. How terrifying was that? Master, do you want to avoid the heaven-devouring demon Death Knell area? Demon Eye Emperor asked. Yes. Lin Feng was decisive. The heaven-devouring demon clan was known as the strongest demon clan. They were the mainstay of the 4 great ancient demon clans. They were currently the strongest in the demon clan. The Blood Axe Emperor was ranked first on the 10,000 demon list. His frontal attack power was even more terrifying than Emperor Qi Jing's. He was a transcendent existence that could match the miracle Saint King alone. At this juncture, Lin Feng naturally did not want to clash with him. The heaven-devouring demon Death Knell area was ranked 6th. It was right in front of the purple-eyed demon Death Knell area. Under Demon Eye Emperor's guidance, Lin Feng suddenly turned to avoid it. He took an arc and rushed toward the first 3 most terrifying areas of the 12 demon Death Knell area. Dang! 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 The demon Death Knell kept ringing. Each demon Death Knell had a different pressure and effect. His cells, bones, and body were all tested. Lin Feng could not really get close to the demon Death Knell here. His consciousness could withstand it, but his body could not. Not to mention the first ring, even the second ring was quite difficult. Only after becoming a cosmic system state martial artist can I collect all 12 demon Death Knell. Lin Feng thought. Just a single purple-eyed demon Death Knell had shocking power. If he collected all 12, it would be equivalent to controlling the Death Knell graveyard. Its power could not be underestimated. However, he was still a distance away from the cosmic system state. Cultivating here will improve very quickly. Lin Feng thought to himself. Although his body couldn't withstand entering the first ring, and the effects of cultivation weren't even 1% of what it was in the purple-eyed demonic Death Knell area, his cultivation speed was still much faster than normal. At most, he would be able to reach Soul of the Earth in 2 to 3 years. Just like the Talent Spirit, after his bloodline awakened for the 3rd time and the origin star boundary opened to level 4, his path to the cosmic system state would be smooth. When his strength reached a certain level, he would be able to break through naturally. He slowly approached. Every time he entered an area, he could feel the power of the demon Death Knell increase. It represented the strength of the demon race's bloodline. Even the strongest of the 4 ancient demon races, the Sky Devourer race, was only ranked 6th. One could imagine how terrifying the demon race's bloodline was. Ranked 3rd was the area where the death knell of the 98 Supremes was sounded, the Death Spirit Demon's death knell. Ranked 2nd was the Supreme Death Knell that sounded the Supreme Death Knell. Currently, the Supreme Celestial Demon was in the Demon Death Knell area. Rank 1st was the strongest and most mysterious area that had never sounded the Demon Death Knell, the Demon Death Knell area. "We're here, Master," Demon Eye Emperor said. The ringing of the Death Spirit Devil funeral bell in Lin Feng's ears gradually faded away. He took a step forward and entered the new Devil funeral bell space. Dang! The intense sound of the bell was ear-piercing. It was like a sharp awl piercing into his chest. The attack was quite sharp. As soon as he entered, it gave him a show of strength. Demon Death Knell area. Chapter 1166. Wait for me outside. Lin Feng put down the Demon Eye Emperor. Although the Demon Eye Emperor was quite strong, her old injuries had not healed, and her combat power was probably not even as strong as before her death. Plus, the others did not know that he had formed a soul contract with her, so there was no need to expose her identity. Perhaps it would be useful in the future. Yes, master. The demon, Emperor, replied. Lin Feng nodded and stepped in. Even though he was in the second most dangerous area of the 12 demon death knells, he didn't care. He burst out at full speed and rushed in anxiously. He didn't care if the demon star that the humans of Nemo planet had been searching for was really inside. He only cared about one person. Shimanzi, the woman who came to the Nirvana world from the 33 continents with him. The power of the realms spread out. Even the power of the military throat's demon death bell could no longer obstruct it. Lin Feng's current strength was not what it used to be. Passing through the powerful sound of the bell, he searched for the aura of humans, just like searching through layers of magnetic fields. A tyrannical brute force blocked the probing realm power like a layer of realm net. Such strong demonic power. Lin Feng was shocked. This wasn't the power of the world, but a unique power of the demon race. It was formed by combining the bloodline, the source of darkness, and other types of energy. This unique demonic power contained a bloody and murderous intent. It was like a sharp saber, ruthless and merciless, able to slice the throat with a single slash. It was indeed a curse-shattering heavenly demon. Its power was comparable to a human's life-breaking stage, but its power was comparable to a nebula level. If I can perfectly fuse the darkness origin, light origin, and lightning origin, the true power of the Taiyu star should be even stronger. Lin Feng was very clear, but to fuse the origin energy was not something that could be done in a day. The power of the demon race was based on the bloodline, and not a true fusion. The opponent's strength was quite strong, but he had no way out. If he left now, he would lose his last hope. He's waiting for me to come in, Lin Feng murmured. The sovereign heavenly demon had obviously sensed his presence and was waiting. This battle was unavoidable. Fearless, Lin Feng slowly advanced. Since he was already here, he might as well take things as they came. He was never someone who was afraid of death. Facing the provocation of the sovereign heavenly demon, Lin Feng chose to face it head-on. Fully armed, Quantero's crown flashed with golden light, and the mini purple-eyed demon death knell in his hand was ready to attack at any time. It was a pity that the purple-eyed demon death knell could not unleash a second ability. Otherwise, Lin Feng would have the confidence to fight against the sovereign heavenly demon. Right now, he could only give it his all. Skeletal remains. As the army went deeper into the Devil Death Knell's area, Lin Feng saw a large number of skeletons. They didn't belong to the demon race, but to human martial artists. Although there was hatred between the humans of Nemo planet and Earth, seeing such a cruel way of dying still made their hearts tremble. Lin Feng pursed his lips tightly, his face a little ugly, because he didn't know if one of them was Manzi. They were densely packed and innumerable. There were skeletons everywhere, broken and scattered everywhere. Lin Feng spread out his realm power and could sense many places, but he couldn't go beyond the area blocked by the sovereign heavenly demon. As he got closer and closer, Lin Feng's face suddenly changed. A monstrous aura shrouded him, as if he was trapped in a sea of blood. A pitch-black figure, whose face couldn't be seen, was like the overlord of this sea of blood. The devil race's power suddenly appeared. Chi! A cold light suddenly appeared, revealing a murderous intent. As the sea of blood churned, it turned into a blood-red dragon that wanted to devour Lin Feng. However, the strength of the realm power bounced the blood-red dragon away instantly. Purple light flashed in Lin Feng's hand, and the purple-eyed demon death knell flew out fiercely, bombarding the sea of blood. Boom! With a violent collision, the sea of blood churned even more terrifyingly. In an instant, it formed many blood shadows that attacked Lin Feng like clones. The surroundings were filled with the unpleasant sounds of the devil race. Lin Feng instantly withdrew the purple-eyed demon death knell and unsheathed the sinful black saber. Clang! The saber shook violently. Lin Feng directly used the evil devil's second heavy strike. With his peak 5th-tier saber heart complemented by the darkness origin, the crimson shadows dissipated one after another, as if they had turned into ashes. However, the moment they scattered, the saber pierced through the throat again. It was like the scythe of the Grim Reaper, not stopping until he took the head. Pung! The purple-eyed demon Death Knell attacked again, and they were evenly matched. However, with a whoosh, 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 6 phantoms suddenly appeared in 6 directions. The sea of blood covered the figure and kept spinning. The devil race's power kept increasing, completely enveloping Lin Feng. The sovereign heavenly demon's power was quite terrifying. From the beginning, it had completely suppressed Lin Feng. It attacked again, aiming for his weak spot. The attack power was abnormally strong. Clang! The purple-eyed demon Death Knell rang, but Lin Feng's figure had already disappeared. The huge purple-eyed demon Death Knell stood tall. The sovereign heavenly demon's 6 phantoms attacked the purple-eyed demon Death Knell, but they could not even damage it. The attacks were completely reflected, and even caused the purple-eyed demon Death Knell to counterattack. Their advantage was instantly wiped out. A perfect defense. The Quatero crown on Lin Feng's head flashed. With the purple-eyed demon Death Knell protecting him, he was in an invincible position. Although his attack power was not as strong as the sovereign heavenly demons, Lin Feng knew his own advantages. With 2 layers of perfect defense and the existence of tens of thousands of origin mustard stones, it would not be easy for the sovereign heavenly demon to defeat him. Clang! The tip of the purple-eyed demon Death Knell shook violently, and his eardrums throbbed. Lin Feng was secretly shocked. This was not the attack of the 6 phantoms, but the true attack power of the sovereign heavenly demon. Just this attack alone was more powerful than the combined power of the 6 phantoms. Come at the right time. Lin Feng's heart was like still water. He had long calculated. After the purple-eyed demon Death Knell blocked, it vanished. Golden light flashed. Quatero's illusionary realm was instantly executed. This time, it was executed with realm power. Adding on the advancement of his soul, the power of Quatero's illusionary realm already surpassed the previous by an entire step. Lin Feng's killing move revealed its savageness. The Endless World's power transformed into this thunderous attack. Fiends whose temperament was not strong enough had inferior resistance to illusionary realms compared to humans in the first place. But the opponent this time was extraordinary. What a powerful willpower! What a powerful obsession! Knowing the opponent's actual situation the moment they exchanged blows, Lin Feng was secretly shocked. The sovereign heavenly demon's temperament was much stronger than he expected. Facing an opponent with such a firm will, the effect of Quatero's illusionary realm was greatly reduced. Completely unlike the fiend race. Even humans rarely had such willpower. Even though his temperament looked very evil, good or evil had nothing to do with willpower. This won't do. Lin Feng sensed that Quatero's illusionary realm was gradually losing its effect. His trump cards were revealed bit by bit. Facing an opponent with such strength, it was already very difficult to win. At present, he could only fight one last time with the purple-eyed demon Death Knell. The true dragon's purple eyes flickered dazzlingly. Lin Feng gritted his teeth tightly. Pah! Quatero's illusionary realm dissipated. The killing intent also vanished in a thin air along with it. Lin Feng's attack was currently erupting with aura, but he was suddenly stunned. He looked at this figure in front of him blankly, completely stupefied. Chapter 1167. It was a pitch-black figure, slightly shorter than him. The golden skeleton's ferocious armor wrapped around its skinny figure, and a third eye opened on its forehead. It held a crimson weapon that was burning with raging flames in its hand. Behind it was an ugly and ferocious dragon, and its aura was incomparably violent. Blood Shadow! Lin Feng was stunned. He would never forget the young man in front of him. He was Blood Shadow, who had helped him in the 33 continents and came from Earth like him. Zikue, you're finally here, Lin Feng. Blood Shadow's smile was ice cold, and his eyes were bone-chilling. The third eye on his forehead slowly closed, leaving only a crack. The blood-red weapon in his hand was like a blade from hell, exuding a terrifying, murderous aura. "You lured me here," Lin Feng finally understood. "Not just you," Blood Shadow said. The blood-colored barrier disappeared, and in an instant, another silhouette appeared behind it, bringing with it a light breeze. The fine luster was clear and bright. If Blood Shadow's appearance had shocked him, then this figure's appearance was very pleasantly surprised. "Brother Li," Lin Feng was overjoyed. "Brother Lin." The white-clothed young man smiled. It was Li Jixing, who had entered the Nemo planet with Lin Feng but got separated. It was completely unexpected. Lin Feng didn't expect to see Blood Shadow and Li Jixing here. "You're still alive?" Lin Feng said. "Because I have to be alive." Li Jixing's eyes flashed. Lin Feng looked at Li Jixing. This good friend of his who had entered the Nemo planet with him was not only a life-breaker expert like him, but he had also changed a lot. He used to be carefree and carefree. When they first met, he was like a frivolous rich kid, but now he had matured. His time on the Nemo planet had changed him. He's changed too. Lin Feng looked at Blood Shadow. Zikue, who had cultivated the sunflower scripture, had disappeared. When he met him in the 33 continents, he seemed to have become a different person. Now that they met again, the change was even greater. The Blood Shadow in front of him was like a demon king from hell. The only thing that hadn't changed was the Blood Shadow. That was his obsession. He was ruthless to others, and even more ruthless to himself. The three people from Earth gathered again. Lin Feng, who used to be one of the twin stars of Huaxia, finally stood at the top of the unfamiliar Nemo planet. It was hard to explain. Li Jixing's name. Lin Feng was surprised. After Li Jixing escaped that day, not only did he change his name, his personality also changed a lot. The battle at the Jinglan mountain range had a huge impact on him. He had the best talent among the three of them, so it wasn't surprising that he could reach the life-breaking realm. After escaping that day, I wanted to save my life and avenge Brother Lin, so I chose to go by sea. Li Jixing explained. Lin Feng nodded. Li Jixing's judgment was right. If Senior Bai Yun hadn't saved him that day, he would have been hunted down too. Although the Jinglan mountain range was big, it was the territory of the Blue Moon clan after all. Although the water seemed dangerous, it was actually the safest way to survive. However, there were many monsters on the water. I fought and retreated at the same time. Although I survived, I was severely injured. Li Jixing sighed. Although I finally left the Jinglan mountain range, I was already at the end of my rope. Thanks to that time of life and death, I stimulated the true dragon saint power in my body and met the person who changed my life. "Oh," Lin Feng's eyes brightened. Li Jixing smiled and said, "You know my master." "Master?" Lin Feng looked at Li Jixing. Of course, he knew that the young man of wind in Wu Xindao realm was him. "Li Mubai?" Lin Feng had a flash of inspiration. Li Jixing nodded. "Misfortune may be a blessing in disguise." Master defeated the miracle sacred king and was relaxing in the 33 continents. In the end, he took me in. After that, I followed him into the Nirvana realm and focused on cultivation. When my strength reached a certain level, he ordered me to go down the mountain and enter the Glory Alliance. This fortuitous encounter was amazing. Lin Feng and Blood Shadow looked at each other and smiled bitterly. Comparisons were odious. Both of them had climbed up from the bottom of the 33 continents and had survived countless dangers to reach their current strength. Li Jixing, on the other hand, had soared into the sky on a rocket and had a smooth journey. "Don't look at me like that." Li Jixing shrugged. "Actually, I'm more envious of you. Envious of us." Blood Shadow sneered with a hint of self-mockery. In terms of death, he had experienced many times more than Lin Feng. He had climbed up from the 18 levels of hell, step by step. Only through trials and failures can one's endless potential be stimulated. "You gain what you put in," Li Jixing said seriously. "Although I had a smooth journey in the beginning, I faced bottlenecks later on. Whether it was my realm or cultivation, it became slower and slower. However, You're different. Although your path was bumpy in the beginning, now Li Jixing smiled and spread out his hands. It's clear who is strong and who is weak. There was a hint of helplessness and envy in his words. Blood Shadow is a bit stronger. Lin Feng said. Blood Shadow's talent was the worst among the three, but he was now the strongest. Fate made fools of people. In the 33 continents, he had caught up to Blood Shadow, but now he had been surpassed again. I don't deny it. Blood Shadow's voice was cold. He raised the burning blood-red blade in his hand. Military throat blood blade, the most precious treasure of the military throat demon race. His gaze fell on Lin Feng. Blood Shadow said in a deep voice, "You lack a true realm force weapon." Lin Feng nodded. It was hard to use the realm force. It was like a master who had reached the peak of the blade realm. Without a blade, he could not use the true blade realm. Currently, there were only two ways to use the realm force. The first was to use the Quantero crown to release Quantero's illusion. The illusion was very strong, but it was also very restrictive. It was difficult to use it against martial artists with strong willpower, especially those like Blood Shadow, who were obsessed with it. The second was to use the purple-eyed demon Death Knell to attack directly. However, he had not cultivated the true technique of controlling objects. The purple-eyed demon Death Knell was not a realm force weapon, so it was difficult to use the realm force. It was like using a peerless blade to chop wood. In terms of battle power, Blood Shadow is currently the strongest. In terms of cultivation, Li Jixing looked at Lin Feng. Brother Lin, you are the best. Lin Feng smiled and then looked at Blood Shadow. Where is Manzi? You want to see her? Blood Shadow smiled coldly. Their eyes met. Lin Feng's expression became serious. Blood Shadow's purpose in leading him here was not simple. She is in the heaven-hating demon Death Knell area. Blood Shadow's voice was cold. Lin Feng stared deeply at Blood Shadow. Then, without saying a word, his figure flashed and left. Why did you do that? Li Poji asked. Blood Shadow's gaze was cold. The flames on the military throat blood blade in his hand burned. He was like a demon as he sneered and left. To be continued. Chapter 1168. Lin Feng knew two things. First, Blood Shadow had purposely lured him here. If he wanted to find him, he wouldn't have to go through so much trouble. Second, he had no ill intentions. If Blood Shadow really wanted to kill him, he would have done it in the 33 continents. Back then, he was nothing in front of Blood Shadow. Unlike Li Poji, Blood Shadow was eccentric and reclusive. He had no friends and disdained to have friends. He had a very deep obsession, so deep that it was almost to the point of chi deviation. He wanted to become stronger, to continuously become stronger, to walk further on the path of becoming stronger. Actually, he has many praiseworthy aspects, Lin Feng thought. He dared to cultivate the Sunflower Manual when he was young and castrated himself. One had to know that he had a prominent position back then. As a young Island Master, he could basically get all the manuals he wanted. But in order to prove that he was stronger than Li Jixing, he didn't care about anything. In terms of ruthlessness, no one could compare to him. Just like the old saying, a man should be ruthless to himself. But why did he want me to enter the hateful devil funeral bell region? Lin Feng was puzzled. The first of the 12 devil funeral bell regions wasn't the devil funeral bell region, but the deepest and most mysterious one, the hateful devil funeral bell region. Whoosh! Lin Feng's speed was extremely fast. His journey was smooth, and he quickly crossed the devil funeral bell region. He came to the border of the hateful devil funeral bell region. The ringing in his ears became weaker and weaker until he crossed the border. A new round of ringing sounded, and Lin Feng's eyes widened. Dong! The ringing of the bell made the blood in his body boil. It was as if an ancient summon resonated. The sleeping beast in the Origin Star realm was awakened, and the entire Origin Star realm shook. Whoosh! The body of light and darkness activated on its own, and many divine patterns appeared. Lin Feng's blood-red eyes became hazy, and many images appeared in front of his eyes. Howl! Howl! Many demons, shrouded in dark aura, were crazily fighting with human experts. Their bodies were covered in demonic patterns, and every demon's aura was extraordinarily powerful, far stronger than his. It was like a war between races. These demon experts with horns on their heads were shining with a shocking dark luster, as if they were strengthened by something. Every expert of the demon race was a natural-born warrior. They could display their strength and skills to the fullest. So strong, Lin Feng thought. This shocking dark luster was clearly the bloodline power of their race. It was similar to the Dark Devil Tao. Their attacks were a combination of strength and technique. Their cultivation of the Tao of dark matter and the Tao of devour were equally terrifying. Coupled with their off-the-charts physical fitness, without any other complicated powers, they were already extremely terrifying. A real demon, born the darling of darkness, the embodiment of power, supplemented by the bloodline passed down from generation to generation in the demon race, transformed into absolute strength. Heaven-hating devil clan. Lin Feng shivered inwardly. The four great ancient demon clans of the Nemo Star were worlds apart from the heaven-hatred demon clan. The four great ancient demon clans were powerful not because of their complexity, but because of their proficiency. Furthermore, the difference in the power of their bloodlines was huge. The bloodline of the heaven-hatred devil clan had a dark luster that was like a crazy halo. It increased his strength by several times, and its power was unimaginable. Wait a minute. Lin Feng was startled, his whole body trembling. How could he see the heaven-hatred devil clan? Why would he have such a reaction when he heard the bell? He had walked through more than half of the 12 demon death knell regions, and only the heaven-hatred devil death knell region had one. There must be a reason for this abnormality, and Blood Shadow had purposely led him here. Things were very strange. I seem to have missed something, Lin Feng suddenly recalled. When he met Blood Shadow and Lipoji again, he was overjoyed and forgot about the important matter. The supreme demon that he had been searching for was actually Blood Shadow, but he was clearly a human. How could he become a demon, and a military demon at that? Could it be? A possibility appeared in Lin Feng's mind, and he immediately felt a chill down his spine. He found it hard to believe. His gaze fell on the deep and unknown heaven-hatred devil death knell region. Lin Feng clenched his fists and stepped forward. He was very sure that the answer he wanted was inside. He slowly went deeper. The deeper he went, the stronger the throbbing feeling became. There seemed to be a force in the unseen world that was pulling him in. Lin Feng did not resist because his heart did not resist. It was like a magnet pulling him closer and closer to the deep center of the devil death knell. Different from the purple-eyed devil death knell, this was a call from the heart. Heaven, hatred, devil race. Just like now, there can't be only one race of demons in the previous era on planet Nemo. The Devil Kingdom in the God Spirit ruins is one. The Gate of Heaven's Wrath is another. And so is the Death Knell Graveyard. The Crow Demon race, Chi-Yu Demon race, and the four ancient demon races should all exist in the previous era, including the three strongest demon races of the 12 Devil Death Knell, the Dead Spirit Demon race, the Military Demon race, and the Heaven Hatred Devil race. Planet Nemo is not far from Earth, and they are both in the solar system. With cosmic system state power, Lin Feng shivered. The demon race that ruled planet Nemo must have known about Earth's existence. They appeared much earlier than the second generation of humans. Perhaps their era is very close to the first generation of humans on Earth. They might even be related. Lin Feng shivered. Just like how the humans on planet Nemo migrated from Earth. What about the demons on planet Nemo? They might have originated from Earth. It's too complicated. Lin Feng shivered. The events of the ancient era were too far away from now. Billions or even billions of years had passed, and it was even harder to tell if they were real or fake. The most recent memory of Earth was only a few 100 million years ago, when the second generation of humans was born and when his teacher, the true Dragon Army Lord, arrived. He couldn't find that history in the ancient books on Earth. Only he, and his 8th senior brother, who had left, knew about it. The third ring. Lin Feng stepped in. He spread his realm power and didn't sense Man Z's presence, but he wasn't worried about her safety. Blood Shadow wouldn't harm her. What he said before was more of an excuse to let him enter the Heaven Hatred Devil Death Knell area. Now, he wanted to enter too. He wanted to explore this dusty secret. It wasn't just out of curiosity, but also a call from the heart. Ta! He entered the second ring. Who? Lin Feng's expression was serious. There was no pressure or restriction. It was completely different from the other Devil Death Knell areas. It was as if he belonged here. The closer he got, the stronger the call of the Origin Star realm. All the blood cells in his body were beating. Dang! Dang! Every sound of the bell was loud, but it didn't cause any harm. It was as if it was welcoming him home. As the bell rang, Lin Feng slowly approached the first ring. What was different from the Purple-Eye Devil Death Knell area was that the first ring here had a dark luster flashing with strong killing intent and an unyielding will to battle. Above the dark light, a set of skeletal armor was hovering in the air. Heaven Hatred, Chapter 1169. It was very similar. The ferocious skeletal armor was almost identical to the one worn by the heaven-hating Devil Clan members. But obviously, this was a Nebula-level treasure. Lin Feng hesitated for a moment before touching the skeletal battle armor. Although he didn't know if this was the reason why he was here, there was no harm in giving it a try. The moment he touched it, his head buzzed. He felt dizzy and entered a world of massacre. Lin Feng was stunned. He seemed to have transformed into a demon warrior and was wearing the skeletal battle armor. He couldn't adapt to his huge body size, but he was still moving uncontrollably. He was surrounded by countless members of the Heaven Hatred demon race as he rushed toward the universe battlefield. Kill! 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 The aura of war shrouded the entire battlefield. The experts of the Heaven Hatred demon race and the human experts engaged in the most intense battle. Even the Heaven Hatred demon race that Lin Feng's consciousness was in didn't lose out. With a thought, the bloodline merged with his body. The skeletal battle armor emitted a shocking dark luster. This is it. Lin Feng was shocked. His body suddenly changed. Lin Feng's muscles abruptly expanded as a terrifying energy gathered. His entire person was like a brain with unlimited frequencies, growing stronger and stronger. The surging energy didn't dissipate at all. The boundless source energy of darkness fused with the grand Tao of darkness and entered his mind. Lin Feng's consciousness trembled violently. His power skyrocketed. Heaven Hatred demon armor. 4 ferocious words appeared in Lin Feng's mind. Instantly, his consciousness was brought into the endless massacre. The Heaven Hatred demon race's power techniques were refined and perfect. With the help of the armor, their power techniques were already terrifying. If they were combined with the darkness origin source. Boom, boom, boom. Lin Feng was completely immersed in the pleasure of power. He could use the profound meaning of darkness origin as he wished. He wasn't at a disadvantage even when fighting against 10 people. The Heaven Hatred demon race on the battlefield were basically fighting against 10 or even 100 people. They had a crushing advantage when facing humans of the same level. Powerful bloodline. His mind was clear. Lin Feng's consciousness wasn't affected by the massacre. He wouldn't lose his mind. Right now, he was purely enjoying the feeling of power. Combining the path of the dark demon, the power technique, and the bloodline to form a unique technique, the heaven-hating form. Lin Feng had already seen through the profoundness of it. Just like the heaven-hating demon armor, the words heaven-hating form were also involuntarily engraved in his mind. Actually, the heaven resentment demon armor was more of a supporting role for the explosion of the heaven resentment form. Although the heaven spite demon armor is the starting point for the heaven spite form, the real starting point is the blood. Lin Feng could clearly see that this was the power of the bloodline. Naturally, it was driven by blood, but here it was driven by the heaven spite demon armor, which was very strange. If it's not in the form of the erupting hatred sky, it should only be slightly stronger than human experts of the same level. It should be able to fight 1 against 2 or 3 at most. But once it explodes, it won't be a problem to fight 1 against 10. The gap between them was huge. The war was still going on, and the heaven-hatred devil race had already gained the upper hand. Lin Feng had benefited a lot from cultivating in the war. This included his comprehension of the great Tao of darkness. Although he was only passively using the Tao of origin, and the demons weren't good at it, but the battle before him was at the galactic level. There were very few 2-star profound intents of origin. They were at least 3-star or 4-star profound intents of origin. Triple demonic shadows. Lin Feng exclaimed in his heart. The heaven-hatred devil race that he had possessed was quite familiar with this move, and it was very useful in battle. The 3-star profound intent of origin and the Tao of dark matter could split the attack into 3. It was unexpected and deadly at the same time. Combined with the other 4-star profound intent, it was simply unstoppable. It was a divine weapon for killing on the battlefield. Unfortunately, he couldn't practice the other 4-star profound intent for the time being, but he could use the triple demonic shadows. What I lack is a powerful profound intent. Lin Feng had a deep understanding. Because he had used this move more often and often, it was very easy to comprehend. Most importantly, his Tao of dark matter was at the 4-star profound intent. He could completely comprehend and use 100% of the triple demonic shadows power. Again and again, Lin Feng let go of his mental state and was very focused. He threw everything else to the back of his mind. The heaven-hatred form wasn't something that he could learn just because he wanted to. Even if he completely comprehended it, he was still a human. It was impossible for him to use the devil race's bloodline secret skill. However, the 3-star profound intent of the Tao of dark matter was different. He could completely fuse this valiant auxiliary ability for his own use and increase his combat strength. The key to this move is synchronization. Complete synchronization will allow me to use the strongest power. The dark matter focuses on strangeness and changes. However, this move requires stability. Lin Feng thought to himself, this 3-star profound intent was much more difficult than it seemed. He could imagine that the heaven-hatred devil race expert that he had possessed must have spent a tremendous amount of effort to cultivate it. At the same time, if this move was used well, its power would be comparable to a 4-star profound intent. Stability. Lin Feng smiled. He was very good at stability because the Tao of light pursued stability and speed. In addition, he was a realm energy cultivator. If he couldn't even achieve stability, wouldn't he be a laughingstock? Complete immersion, perfect comprehension. Unknowingly time passed. The war was gradually coming to an end. Lin Feng still wanted to continue. After all, he had only comprehended a small part of the triple evil shadows. No matter how good his aptitude was or how good his cultivation environment was, comprehending it wasn't something that could be done overnight. While his mind was in a daze, his consciousness suddenly returned. A huge figure of the heaven-hatred devil race appeared in front of him. It had ferocious horns and was covered in scales. Heaven-hatred devil armor. Lin Feng looked at the skeleton devil armor in front of him. His heartbeat quickened. There was a powerful force within the demonic armor. As Lin Feng touched it with his hands, the heaven-hating demonic armor's dark light instantly enveloped him. Countless messages appeared in his mind. Lin Feng's eyes widened in disbelief as a drop of black blood flowed into his bloodline. Drip! There was complete silence. Only this drop of blood could be heard. Lin Feng felt a burning sensation in his chest, and his blood seemed to be burning. The light and darkness body emitted an extremely bright light, and divine patterns appeared instantly like demonic patterns. Ka! The heaven-hatred devil armor actually split apart. The red dot hidden within embedded itself into his chest like a gem. The ferocious armor covered his body. It was as if his bloodline had fused with it. Streams of information flowed into his mind. Lin Feng's eyes widened. He was completely shocked. Impossible. How can I have the heaven-hatred devil race's bloodline? Death Knell Cemetery. Dong! The deafening sound of the bell reverberated in every corner of the graveyard. Not only the area of the 12 devil death knell, even the outer areas of the bone-shaking knell and blood-shaking knell could hear it clearly. The experts of the human race demon race, and monster race were all dumbfounded. It can't be. He had just sounded the 9 extreme supreme death knell. He hadn't found the devil's star yet, and now it was happening again. Chapter 1170. Clang, clang, clang. Every time the bell rang, it shocked everyone, especially the 5 races of Tion Mo. They tried their best to find the demon star, but to no avail. Every time the bell rang, they would fall into the abyss. 1 was scary enough, but 2, it was like giving the humans a death sentence. Crazy. The one who spoke was Lei Hu, the clan leader of Zhao Tian. His brows were furrowed like chains. He was ranked 5th on the heaven ranking. Planet Nemo will always belong to the demon race, said Chi Mo, the clan leader of Scarlet Sunday. Don't be discouraged. Ji Kuan, the grand elder of Feiji race, said. He was old but strong. Not only was he experienced, his prestige was unparalleled. He was ranked 1st on the heaven ranking, 2nd only to Miracle Saint King. If it's a blessing, it's not a curse. If it's a curse, it can't be avoided. Lei Hu and Chi Mo nodded. There were some things they had to face. On the other side, this is impossible. A blue-faced man floated in the air. Scales could be seen on his shoulders. There was a sharp protrusion on his head. 3rd on the 10,000 beast ranking, 1,000 evil heavenly demon Zongqing. Similar to the 10,000 demon ranking, the 10,000 beast ranking was also ranked by human experts. The only difference was that the 10,000 beast ranking was far from being a match for the demon race. In terms of combat power, the demon race had a large number of people, but their overall combat power was slightly inferior to the humans. How can 2 demon stars appear at the same time? Another wingman widened his eyes and bared his fangs. 8th on the 10,000 beast ranking, 1,000 evil heavenly demon, will you? The bell rang louder and louder. In the blink of an eye, it had reached 80. They had to believe it. Zongqing and Wu Yu exchanged glances. As the best of the 1,000 evil heavenly demons, they knew the demon race's current situation. Even though the demon star had appeared and the 5 races of Tion Mo repeatedly came to the demon race in hopes of forming an alliance, the demon race's ancestors had closed their doors. It wasn't that they didn't want to fight the demon race, but they didn't want to be a stepping stone and be kicked away after being used. They were also part of Planet Nemo. They had existed since hundreds of millions of years. This time, the demonic ancestors were very firm in their beliefs. They knew that the humans would not allow the demon star to grow recklessly. They would definitely go to war. They would wait until the humans and the demon race suffered great losses before coming out to clean up the mess. Even if they could not topple the 2 races, at least the demonic race would no longer be ranked last among the 3 races. But now 90, Zongqing's voice trembled. Our ancestors have gone too far in playing with fire. Wu Yu bared his fangs in a terrifying manner. 92, 93, 95. In the land of the bone-shaking death bell and the land of the blood-shaking death bell, all the cultivators were listening to the ringing of the bells. 100 million years ago, the death bell of the 9-5 Supreme Being was rung. The 5 strongest life-breaking experts of the Miracle Garden sacrificed their lives to fight the heavenly demon Netherhorn. That piece of history was still passed down to this day. Now, the death bell of the 9-5 Supreme Being was rung once again. Moreover, it didn't stop. Clang, clang, dang. The 98th toll of the death knell stunned all the human powerhouses. 200 million years ago, the death bell of the only supreme being in the world had been rung. At that time, Qi Hong, who was merely a supreme heavenly devil, had forced the strongest experts of both the human and demon races to come out in full force before he was annihilated. Previously, the death knell had rung 99 times, giving birth to 99 supreme beings. But now clang. The sound of the bell was enough to break one's heart in half. The second 99 Extreme Supreme. It's over. The human race is going to perish. This can't be real. Every human cultivator's face was pale. They found it hard to accept the reality in front of them. Before their hearts could calm down, a loud sound that was like a great bell suddenly rang out once more. It was like the heavens were roaring furiously, knocking everyone's souls out of their bodies. The 100th toll, 99, was already the supreme number in the legends. What was 100? No one knew. There was no record of it in the ancient records. Even the demons themselves were confused. Emperor Qi Jing, Emperor Nether Spirit, and even the Blood Axe Emperor, who was ranked first among the 5 emperors, were stunned. When the death knell was rung, they were very excited. But now, they didn't know what to do. 100 tolls? The new fiend star was even stronger? Then who should they acknowledge as their master? Who should they listen to? 100 death knells. It was so perfect. It was like the end of the death knell graveyard. It was the last stroke of the Nemo planet that had been in turmoil. No one knew what had happened. Why was there 100 tolls of the death knell? Only, it's time to awaken. Blood Shadow's cold eyes were deep and cold. He murmured softly. The golden skeleton's ferocious armor wrapped around the thin figure. The military bloodblade in his hand was burning with raging flames. Killing intent radiated in all directions, like an unyielding war spirit. Zikue, Lipoji said. My name is Blood Shadow. Blood Shadow didn't turn his head. His voice was calm. Lipoji said, I just realized. I've been underestimating you. Blood Shadow's voice was cold. You overestimated yourself. Lipoji laughed. Maybe you're right. Blood Shadow snorted and didn't say anything else. In the area of the heaven-hating demon death knell, Lin Feng was wearing the heaven-hating demon armor. The terrifying black light flashed and covered his face. The skeletons roared, full of killing intent and resentment. In the middle of the black armor, there was a faint red dot of light in the middle of the chest. Demon blood. Lin Feng still couldn't believe it. The key reason why he could wear the heaven-hating demon armor was this drop of demon blood. Only experts with the bloodline of the heaven-hating demon clan could integrate with this drop of demon blood. Thus, they could wear this powerful heaven-hating demon armor and obtain the power of the heaven-hating demon clan. I'm clearly a human, the 3rd generation of human beings on Earth. Lin Feng was very sure. Suddenly, a scene appeared in his mind. When he had just entered the Nirvana world, he was almost mistaken as a demon spy when he entered the Glory Alliance. At that time, when he touched the illuminating stone, it lit up with a black light. At that time, he thought it was because of the Tyrannosaurus Rex clone. But now that he thought about it, do I really have the bloodline of the demon race? Lin Feng pursed his lips tightly. Scenes appeared in his mind one after another. The scene of the bloodline awakening was still clear. The black-haired giant stood proudly between heaven and earth in a fierce battle with countless celestial soldiers and divine generals. He had the same light and darkness body as him. Obviously, this was the 1st generation of human beings on Earth, the origin of all human bloodlines. He's a demon? Lin Feng was shocked. He immediately denied it. His intuition told him that the black-haired giant wasn't a demon. It was very simple, because he didn't look like one at all. But it was true that he had an extremely strong talent for darkness. It's very complicated. Lin Feng sighed, shook his head, and stopped thinking about it. Whether he was a human or a demon, it didn't matter. The key was his own heart. If his heart was right, he would do good. If his heart was evil, he would do evil. Chapter 1171. A genius remembers love in 1 second. We provide you with wonderful novels to read. No wonder Blood Shadow could defeat me. That's why the devil stars of the past were all terrifyingly strong. Even a supreme heavenly demon could easily defeat a human life-breaking stage expert. After fusing with the heaven resentment demon armor, Lin Feng finally understood. Although the devil star was extraordinary, the key to unleashing its true power was the devil blood. It could perfectly activate cosmic system-level treasures. With this drop of Heaven Hatred Devil blood, not only will I be able to activate the defense of the Heaven Hatred Devil armor, but I will also be able to perform the Heaven Hatred Devil clan's innate skill. Lin Feng clenched his fists. The power and dominance of the Hate Heaven form appeared in his mind. How terrifying was it to be able to multiply the combat power of a cosmic system state? If it was used on a star-level martial artist, it's at least 10 times stronger. Lin Feng was very sure that Blood Shadow's army throat Bloodblade was similar, but it didn't necessarily increase one's combat power. After all, every demon race had different talents and cosmic system state treasures. What was similar was that each Devil Star was very strong. Clang! Lin Feng felt as if his head had been hammered by a hammer. A terrifying force spread from the top of his head to the rest of his body, making him feel as if his body was about to fall apart. Pa! The heaven-hating demon armor flashed with a black luster. Lin Feng came back to his senses, and a chill ran down his spine. He was currently at the border between the first ring and the second ring. In this position, the might of the heaven-hating devil funeral knell was already incomparably great. So, Lin Feng's figure flashed and leaped out of the second ring. At this moment, another earth-shattering sound of a bell rang out. The sound lingered in the air, and the sound of a huge tremor spread from the inside to the outside. It was as if he had lost all his strength. Even though he was wearing the heavenly resentment demon armor, it was more of a defense against external attacks. Love, go little say, come moreover, the devil blood hateful heavenly demon armor was just an ordinary armor. It could not defend against the invasion of the bell sound. Step, step. After 2 consecutive leaps, Lin Feng landed in a safe area. His chest heaved up and down. Lin Feng gazed at the heaven-hating demon death bell in the distance with lingering fear. Just now, the bell didn't have any effect on him at all. Obviously, it was because of the heavenly hatred demon blood. However, now that the demon blood had merged into his body, the heavenly hatred demon armor had disappeared, and the barrier had dissolved. Although he could fuse with the heaven-hating devil blood, it did not mean that he could easily obtain the heaven-hating devil funeral bell. The head of the 12 devil death knells, the heaven-hating devil death knell, was also the strongest. If one could obtain the devil death knell just by having compatible bloodlines, the 12 devil death knell would already be dead. Lin Feng knew very well that the nether devil death knell, purple-eyed devil death knell, Chiyu devil death knell, and heaven-devouring devil death knell had already been taken away by the 4 great ancient devil clans. 200 million years ago and 100 million years ago, the Fiend Star had appeared in the Fiend race, but it had only taken away a drop of Fiend blood and the Fiend blood treasure. The devil funeral bell had not been taken away. It's good to keep it. Lin Feng looked at the heaven-hating devil death knell in the distance. At least, it could help him increase his strength quickly. He already had the purple-eyed devil death knell, but it did not increase his strength by much. After all, he had not reached the cosmic system state yet. Just like his blade technique, it was useless even if he obtained the peerless scripture. If I can't get it, others can't either. When I break through to the cosmic system state and have enough strength to practice using it, it won't be too late to take the 12 devil death knell. Lin Feng thought to himself. There was some desire in his eyes, but he did not stay and disappeared in a flash. Inside the devil death knell area, Lin Feng returned in the heaven-hating devil armor. Blood Shadow and Lipoji's eyes lit up. Can you tell me where Manzi is now? Lin Feng looked at Blood Shadow. A powerful being who focuses on the martial Tao should not waste his energy on relationships, especially women, Blood Shadow said coldly. Lin Feng shook his head. A normal human should have 7 emotions and 6 desires. This is human nature. You are not human, Blood Shadow said. Lin Feng was stunned. Blood Shadow was not scolding him. I am human. Lin Feng looked straight at Blood Shadow and pressed his hand on his chest. My blood is bright red. My heart is the human heart. But you can fuse with the heaven-hating devil blood, Blood Shadow said. Water can fuse with everything, but water is still water. The 3rd generation of humans on Earth inherited the bloodline of the 1st generation. It is not strange for us to fuse with the devil blood, Lin Feng said. They looked at each other, but no one could convince the other. Lipoji interrupted. Don't worry, Brother Lin. When you entered the Death Knell graveyard, Blood Shadow had already sent her back. Then, Lipoji shrugged and said, There's no need to argue with him. This guy has already gone crazy. You don't know that the heaven he awakened is not the path of the human heart, but the path of the devil heart. Devil heart cultivator. Lin Feng was shocked and extremely astonished. Blood Shadow sneered. So what if he is a devil heart cultivator? He is not necessarily weaker than you. He is just relying on the army, throat demon blood. My power level is higher. I will definitely reach the cosmic system state faster than you. Li Poji snorted. Stronger than you, Blood Shadow said coldly. The two were a pair of enemies. After receiving Li Poji's affirmation, Lin Feng relaxed. Even though he already knew that Blood Shadow wouldn't use Man Zi's safety to threaten him, he still couldn't help but feel worried. Letting out a light breath, Lin Feng looked at Blood Shadow and said, "Okay, tell me your real purpose. You lured me all the way here. It can't be as simple as fusing with the heaven-hating devil blood, right?" Lin Feng said, "In the blood death knell graveyard. It's over." Wanya Demon Wuyu was on the verge of collapse. 100 death knell graveyard. It's scarier than the 9 extreme death knell. Wanya Demon Zongqing was in disbelief. Damn it. The powerful beings of the demon race appear one after another. The demon race was born and raised on planet Nemo. Why can't we be treated as well as the demon race? This is too unfair. Wuyu shook his head. What's the point of complaining? It's more practical to think of a solution. Ow! Zongqing laughed self-deprecatingly. 1 demon star can turn Nemo planet upside down. 2 demon stars. Ha ha ha. I think we'd better go our separate ways and see who's lucky. Every day counts. Wuyu flapped his wings. No matter what, let's report this news to our ancestors first and then make a decision. You can go if you want. I'm not interested. A desolate look flashed across Zongqing's eyes as he bared his fangs. Since I'm going to die anyway, I might as well kill to my heart's content and relieve the hatred in my heart. After he finished speaking, he turned into a green light and roared crazily, venting his despair. Wuyu sighed and shook his head. The demon clan is facing a great calamity. Wuyu flapped his wings and flew away. He couldn't stop Zongqing from doing what he wanted to do, but he had to report this to the Yao ancestors as soon as possible to salvage the situation. 2 demon stars had appeared. The apocalypse was coming. Chapter 1172. Genius 1, Second Remember, Love, Go Divided by Little. This is a wonderful novel for you to read. Compared to the fear and helplessness of the monster clans, the humans were much calmer. Ji Kun, Chi Chi Mo, and Lei Hu, the 3 pillars of humanity, personally witnessed the ringing of the 100 demon death bells. After their shock, they fell into deep thought. In terms of resistance, the humans that had been fighting the demon clans were much stronger than the monster clans. Fighting for survival, they wouldn't give up that easily. It's not like there's no way. Ji Kun said, "That's right, at least we can confirm one thing." The scarlet sun mark on Chi Chi Mo's forehead lit up right now. The new demon star must be in the Death Bell Cemetery. The 3 nodded. There was no doubt about this. I'll immediately arrange for human experts to guard the entrance to the Blood Death Bell Cemetery. Lei Hu said, "We have to narrow down the range of the demon star and lock it down." Chi Chi Mo said, "I'll return to the Miracle Garden and arrange for human experts to enter the Death Bell Cemetery. The demon star has just been born and is at its weakest. Let's not care about the previous 9 by 9 demon star for now and take care of the 100 demon death bell demon stars first. It might not be a bad thing." Great Elder Ji Kun stroked his beard and said, "The monster clans have always been playing tricks, trying to take advantage of the situation, but they never thought they would be burning themselves. This time, the birth of a new demon star will definitely scare the cowardly demon race out of their wits. I will immediately head to the ancient Thousand Islands Sea. I believe that this time, those old demon race fellows will not avoid me." The eyes of the 3 lit up, and they turned into 3 streams of light after clapping their hands, flying off in different directions. As the leaders of humanity, their cooperation and experience were already very good. Love, Go Little say, Netkademan Death Bell area. Blood Shadow, Lin Feng, and Li Poji reunited. They were all dragons among humans, and were no longer bullied by others when they first entered the Dark Silence planet. Even the weakest of the three, Lipoji's strength had increased by leaps and bounds after the trip to the God Ruins. He was comparable to the top 10 experts on the Heaven ranking. As for Blood Shadow and Lin Feng, there was no need to mention them. Not to mention their bloodline. The two of them had the strength of a true demon star. The key thing was their identity. I need your help. Blood Shadow did not beat around the bush and directly said, "Oh." Lin Feng and Li Poji were both surprised. Blood Shadow's eyes were cold and full of killing intent. The bloody saber in his hand was burning furiously. "I will exterminate the human beings and demons on Nemo and establish a new order." What? Both Lin Feng and Li Poji were shocked by Blood Shadow's words. What a huge ambition. Zikue, I don't think the relationship between you and me is that good, right? Li Poji smiled noncommittally. Blood Shadow glanced at Li Poji, but didn't say anything. Then he looked at Lin Feng. What a resolute gaze. Lin Feng stared straight at Blood Shadow without averting his gaze. When Blood Shadow heard this suggestion for the first time, he was indeed shocked. However, when he thought about it carefully, it made sense. As the Devil Star, Blood Shadow naturally had to carry out his responsibilities. No matter whether he wanted to or not, his identity as the Devil Star was already on his shoulders. If he did not exterminate the human race and the demon race, then the one who would be exterminated would be himself. Loved go little say, "Ku, give me a reason to help you," Lin Feng said in a deep voice. Blood Shadow gave a rare smile and said slowly, "Because we are Earthlings." A short sentence was better than 1,000 words. Lin Feng naturally wouldn't forget what the human beings on Nemo had done to Earth. They were the ones who personally planned the mass extermination and destroyed Earth civilization. Not long ago, Earth was almost destroyed again. Now, it was fragmented because of the human beings on Nemo. Although they were all human beings, they were enemies. If he didn't take revenge, he wasn't a gentleman. In fact, one of the reasons why Lin Feng returned to Nemo this time was to destroy the Miracle Garden. He couldn't let the disasters on Earth happen again and again. He could save Earth once or twice, but he might not be able to save it 3 or even more times. As long as the Miracle Garden existed, the human beings on Nemo still had their ambitions and Earth would never be safe. "I promise you," Lin Feng said. Li Poji gave a soft, "Oh," and stared at Lin Feng for 3 seconds. Then he suddenly smiled. "If Brother Lin agrees, so do I." But what?" Blood Shadow asked. Li Poji said, "Blood Shadow, you're too biased. You arranged for Lin Feng to enter the Devil Morning Knell area and get the demon blood. What about me?" Blood Shadow shook his head. Lin Feng confused with the demon blood because he has a bloodline similar to the Devil Morning blood, but you don't have it. Li Poji frowned. "Even if I don't have the Devil Morning blood, I still have the Devil Morning blood, the Devil Morning blood, and the Devil Morning blood. There are still 4 drops of demon blood that don't have an owner, right?" Blood Shadow said, "I mean, you don't have the Devil Morning blood." Lin Feng paused, and Li Poji was confused. "We're all 3rd-generation human beings. Why do you have it, and I don't?" "I don't know, but you don't have it," said Blood Shadow. "Strange," Lin Feng murmured. He could also feel that Blood Shadow had the aura of the demon race's bloodline, but Li Poji had no aura of the demon race at all. They were all descendants of the 1st-generation human beings on Earth. Why was there such a difference? "All right," Li Poji shrugged. "Brother Li, don't worry." Lin Feng said, "It's not necessarily a bad thing that you don't have the Devil Morning blood. People have limits. You don't have the Devil Morning blood, but I'm sure you're better than us in other aspects." "Ha, I hope so." Li Poji laughed. Lin Feng smiled as well, then turned to Blood Shadow and asked, "Blood Shadow, how's the situation now?" "Not good." Blood Shadow frowned. Lin Feng was surprised. The Devil Morning blood should have the upper hand. Blood Shadow shook his head. "Human beings on Nemo Star are very strong now. The opening of you Emperor Divine Realm has improved the strength of many human beings. Human beings are taking the beating now, and they don't even come out. In fact, they're sneaking around. They don't want to alert the enemy. They've basically finished their exploration and locked onto my location. And I have a feeling that Miracle Saint King has known my location long ago, but he didn't come to kill me. Blood Shadow's face was serious. Lin Feng said, maybe he thinks he's not as strong as you. No, he's stronger than me. Blood Shadow said, I can feel that he can tie with me when I'm in my best condition, and he might even be stronger than me. The reason why he hasn't shown up is that he's waiting for something to make sure nothing goes wrong. Waiting for something, Lin Feng whispered, then his eyes suddenly lit up. Ancient treasures. Very likely, Li Poji agreed. 3 ancient treasures have appeared. Lin Feng thought, Miracle Saint King is already strong enough. If he obtains another ancient treasure, his strength will be even more terrifying. The strongest human being was not only mysterious and strange, but also shockingly powerful. Phew! Lin Feng didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Not long ago, he was on the side of human beings, slaughtering the devil mourning Blood Shadow. But now, he was on the side of the devil mourning Blood Shadow. Fate made fools of people. To be continued. Chapter 1173. Genius remembers love in 1 second / small. We will provide you with wonderful novels to read. They might not have the advantage in this situation. In fact, every time the demon race awakened their demon star, it seemed like a chance, but they were beaten again and again. In terms of strategy, the demon race couldn't compare to the human race. Adding the fact that the monster race followed the human race, the demon race suffered losses and suffered heavy losses. The reason why they could gain the upper hand this time was mainly because the monster race didn't use their full strength. The human race seemed to be at a disadvantage, but they didn't lose much. Especially with the appearance of the Emperor Divine Realm, the human race's strength increased instead of decreasing. I believe that the news of the 100 Demon Death Knell will spread soon. Lin Feng said, the monster race won't sit still and join hands with the human race. The Miracle Saint King won't wait for the ancient treasure, and the war will begin soon. According to Blood Shadow, our chances of winning this war aren't high. Li Poji said, the main problem is the Miracle Saint King. Blood Shadow looked at Lin Feng. If we can defeat him, the human and monster race alliance will have nothing to fear. Lin Feng nodded. In terms of numbers, the demon race didn't lose to the human race or the monster race. I was wondering when you became so kind, helping Lin Feng awaken his bloodline and increase his strength. It turns out that you went around in a big circle just to let Lin Feng deal with the Miracle Saint King. Li Poji sneered. It's a win-win situation, isn't it good? Blood Shadow said. You're using him. Li Poji rolled his eyes. You predicted that the demon death knell would sound and pulled Lin Feng onto your ship. Blood Shadow said, you have to pay for what you get. The two didn't see eye to eye, and now they were arguing. Lin Feng was also helpless. Actually, he didn't blame Blood Shadow. After all, he owed him a favor. Then again, they all came from Earth, so he would help them if he could. Planet Nemo's demon race wasn't anything good, and the Miracle Garden's cultivators were the same. They were the culprits that caused the extinction of Earth, so they should be eradicated. All right, let's split up. Lin Feng looked at Blood Shadow. You will still be in charge of the demon race. We won't interfere. I understand your meaning. Leave the Miracle Saint King to me, but I won't participate in the other battles. Sure. Blood Shadow nodded. Lin Feng said, then it's decided. Before the war breaks out, I will do my best to improve my strength. All right. Blood Shadow's eyes turned cold. The two fists collided and made a promise. Lin Feng looked at Li Poji and smiled. Shall we train together, brotherly? Of course. Li Poji laughed heartily, leaving the Warthrop Demon Funeral Knell area. Where are we going to train? Li Poji asked. It's right ahead, the heaven-hating Devil Funeral Knell area, Lin Feng said. Li Poji asked in surprise, is there a cultivation ground there? No, Lin Feng said. Li Poji relaxed his eyebrows. Oh, does the inheritor of the demonic blood have special privileges? Lin Feng shook his head. Same as you. Is that so? Li Poji murmured. Lin Feng smiled. You'll know when we get there. I guarantee that this trip will not be in vain. Okay, I'll wait and see. Lipoji said heartily. The two of them soon entered the heaven-hating devil funeral knell area and approached the devil funeral knell. Are we really going to help Blood Shadow? Lipoji didn't trust Blood Shadow very much, but he trusted Lin Feng very much. After all, they had gone through life and death together. Don't you want to help him? Lin Feng asked. That's not what I mean, Lipoji said. It's just that I don't feel comfortable being used like this. Lin Feng smiled. If it's beneficial to both sides, it won't be called using. I agree with what Blood Shadow said, mutual benefit. With his personality, he wouldn't have come to us if he could have done it himself. That's true, Lipoji said with a smile. You can think of it as using each other. Lin Feng said, we don't need to be on the same side as Blood Shadow, and we can't be on the same side. We stand in different places and see different things. He's very ambitious. If he's strong enough, he might even want to rule Earth, not just Nemo. Lipoji frowned. If we help him, won't we? We don't have a choice for now. Lin Feng's eyes sparkled. Nemo was using the empty fort strategy, and Earth was like a gate that was wide open. Once the humans and demons on Nemo discovered this secret, Earth would be in trouble. Now it was just right. The humans and demons on Nemo were fighting to the death, which would buy them enough time. Blood Shadow was a double-edged sword. I'm afraid that once he becomes the emperor, the people will suffer and we'll become his accomplices. Lipoji sighed. Don't worry. Although Blood Shadow has the demon bloodline, he's still a human. He still has feelings and is not a real demon. Lin Feng said, moreover, as long as we are stronger than him, we will be able to restrain him. As for the loss of life, it will never happen. The Miracle Garden will make them pay with their blood, but the other human martial artists, every injustice has its perpetrator and every debt has its debtor. I won't kill the innocent, Lin Feng said. There were good and bad demons, and so were humans. During his time on Nemo, he had made many friends, including a confidant like Manzi, so he couldn't do it. In fact, the only thing that had a deep grudge against Earth was Miracle Garden and the ancient books left behind by the human ancestors on Nemo. If he destroyed them, everything would return to normal. Ta! Lin Feng and Lipoji approached the center of the Demon Mourning Bell area. The third ring is in front. Lin Feng's eyes sparkled. What a terrifying bell. My body is about to fall apart. Lipoji sighed with a serious expression. This place is stronger than the Demon Mourning Bell. Lin Feng said the stronger, the better. Yes, Lipoji casually replied. He was stunned and looked at Lin Feng. What do you mean? Take it. Lin Feng raised his hand, and there was a flash of light. Lipoji took it and found it was a storage ring. He couldn't help being surprised. There are 10,000 2-star universe crystals and 100 3-star universe crystals. Use them first. Lin Feng wasn't a stingy person. There were countless universe crystals in the 10,000 origin mustard stone. These were just the tip of the iceberg. Lipoji's strength wasn't bad. He had experienced the Emperor Divine Realm just like him and had the true Dragon Saint Force. His future was limitless. With his extraordinary talent, as long as he had good cultivation conditions, breaking through to the cosmic system state would be just around the corner. This, Lipoji's eyes widened. He held a 2-star and 3-star universe crystal in his hand. His chest was heaving up and down rapidly. He felt the surging power from the universe crystals. It was the purest energy in the universe. No need to save. Use as much as you can. Lin Feng took out a 3-star universe crystal and smiled. There's still a lot. Lipoji clenched his fists. Okay, he was smart enough to understand Lin Feng's meaning. Let's see who wants to be a cosmic system state. Lin Feng entered the third ring. You think I'm scared of you? Lipoji laughed. To be continued. Chapter 1174. Ancient Thousand Island Sea. Demonic aura filled the sky as countless myriad evil heavenly demons gathered together. The humans had 15 life-breaking experts. The demons had over 500 curse-shattering heavenly demons, and the demons had more myriad evil heavenly demons than the demons, as well as top ancient divine beasts and ancient fierce beasts. In terms of numbers, the demons were the strongest among the three races, but in terms of quality, they were the weakest The heavenly demons that cultivated the Tao of origins did not have as strong perception as the humans. The divine beasts and fierce beasts that cultivated the Tao of strength were not as proficient as the demons. This was a very mediocre race, so the demons had not been able to rise for hundreds of millions of years. You should have heard the news from Wu Yu. Sitting at the head was the 5th-ranked demon emperor, Sui Hu. He had the bloodline of the 9-tailed demon fox, and was the brains of the demons. Goddamn demons, I'll tear them apart. The 3rd-ranked demon emperor, Hu Li, had transformed into a ferocious human form. The word king on his forehead was like a tiger. Brother Kai, what do you say? A man with purple eyebrows spoke. His hair was standing straight. He was the 2nd-ranked demon emperor, Fu Yi. Numerous pairs of demonic and ferocious gazes landed on a bald man. His appearance was not shocking, but he had a shocking aura of disdain for the others. His hands were crossed in front of his chest, and one could see his terrifying muscles. His terrifying physique was filled with explosive power. He was the strongest demon emperor among the 10 demon emperors. Kai Lai, fight! His voice was like a bell as Kai Lai's eyes were filled with ferocity. His battle-intent soared. Feeling Kai Lai's strong battle intent, all the myriad evil heavenly demons felt their blood boil as they roared. Instantly, the ancient Thousand Islands sea was filled with roars. The 10 demon emperors agreed to fight, so the other myriad evil heavenly demons did not dare to object. 9-tailed demon fox Sui Hu nodded. All right, we'll ally with the humans and fight the demons together. Kill them all. Kill. 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 The monster race had been suppressing their emotions for a long time. If only the old ancestor was here. The 9th-ranked demon emperor, Wu Yuzi, said. The old ancestor should have died long ago. He has been missing for over 10 million years. The 10th-ranked demon emperor, Sha Lu, said. Shut up. The purple-eyebrow man Fu Yi shouted. We myriad evil heavenly demons are the true demons. Yes. Wu Yuzi and Sha Lu replied. Ka Miracle Garden, Miracle's sacred domain. In the middle of the white holy land, a man was sitting cross-legged. His body was shrouded in light, and there was a huge sword in front of him. If Lin Feng saw it, he would definitely recognize it. This huge sword was the one he saw an emperor use Divine Realm. One of the 3 ancient unique treasures, the Firmament Greatsword. But now, it had fallen into his hands. The Miracle Saint King. Zi Qi. The blazing sun on Miracle Saint King's forehead represented his identity. He was the descendant of the strongest Crimson Sun clan of the Tian Mo 5 clans, Qi Hao. Like cracks, the bloodline imprint extended outwards, resonating with the giant sword in the sky. In the blink of an eye, boundless radiance enveloped the man and the sword. Qi. The terrifying sword light shattered the entire ground. The Miracle Saint King had already stood up at some point. His figure was tall and muscular, and his eyes were filled with fighting spirit. Every sword in his hand was filled with unyielding power, exuding an astonishing power of light. This was a treasured sword that was born to slay demons. Chua. The Miracle Saint King wiped the sword with his right hand, and blood splattered. The white and red light of the giant sword reflected each other, and its power was even more astonishing. You have been asleep for too long. Now it is time to follow me, slay demons. The cold lips spat out 2 words. The Miracle Saint King stepped out with his head held high, and the entire space rumbled. Door of Heaven's Wrath. Among the 6 forbidden lands, the area that was almost forgotten was filled with blood. This was once the place where the demon race and the demon race fought. Now it was a chaotic battlefield. Skeletons could be seen everywhere, and countless demons were wreaking havoc. All kinds of natural obstacles made the Door of Heaven's Wrath mysterious and terrifying. The Reincarnation Tower of Heaven's Wrath stood tall. This was the symbol of the Door of Heaven's Wrath. The pitch-black tower was sturdy and heavy. Even though hundreds of millions of years had passed, it had never wavered. The buildings created by the technological civilization of the star system level were extraordinary. Even if hundreds of millions of years passed, there would not be any changes. But at this moment, rumble, rumble, violent tremors resounded. The ground of the land of heavenly wrath was like a giant dragon vine, and even the reincarnation tower was shaking. This place was located in the central area, and there were almost no demon race powerhouses. It was like a magnitude 10 earthquake with a tenfold increase, and the sky was about to collapse. Boom, boom. A dull sound resounded, and the tremors became even more intense, like a mountain shaking up and down. The reincarnation tower of heaven's wrath was shaken to the point of tilting, and it exploded amidst the violent fluctuations. The astonishing sound was like a big hole in the world. The reincarnation tower collapsed with a rumble, and dust filled the air. In that vast and gray world, there was a pair of bright lights that were like bright stars shining brightly. Hateful demon death knell area. Lin Feng and Li Poji were engaged in intense cultivation, using the sound of the demon death knell to consume energy and then quickly making up for it with 3-star universe crystals, repeating the cycle. This process was a little uncomfortable at first. After all, the energy in the body came and went quite quickly, and the slightest carelessness could lead to injury. But after becoming proficient, it was not difficult. What was truly difficult was the body. The sound of the hateful demon death knell not only consumed energy, but also put great pressure on the body. Fortunately, the universe crystals were the purest energy of the universe, and could also repair the body. This process was actually excellent for tempering the body, but for Lin Feng, the improvement was not great. Only when he reached the 8th level of the life-breaking stage did his body strengthen slightly, because his body had already reached its limit. But Li Poji benefited a lot. His body had not reached its limit, so the speed of improvement here was quite fast. Whoosh, whoosh. Lin Feng and Li Poji, one in front and one behind, cultivated nonstop for 24 hours. They were both in the second ring. Lin Feng was in the middle of the second ring, and Li Poji was in the middle of the second ring. This was already the limit they could bear. Lin Feng was startled and surprised. He sensed that Li Poji had broken through to the 9th level of the life-breaking stage, surpassing him. How is that possible? Lin Feng was curious. After entering the hateful demon death knell area, he and Li Poji began to cultivate at the same time. But he was in the 7th level of the life-breaking stage, and Li Poji was only in the 6th level of the life-breaking stage, and his origin star realm was only in the 3rd level. His endurance of the death knell, including the energy cycle absorption, was not as good as his, but Li Poji's cultivation speed caught up with his. It seems that I'm not the only one who had a fortuitous encounter. Lin Feng smiled, not jealous, but happy for Li Poji. Brother Li is indeed the most talented martial artist in China. I can't lose to him. Lin Feng's eyes were bright, and then he continued to cultivate, sprinting to the 9th level of the life-breaking stage. Chapter 1175. The human and beast armies mobilized and gathered their forces. War was about to break out. The death knell graveyard became chaotic, and the atmosphere became particularly solemn. A new demon star was born here, and all eyes were focused on it. The human powerhouses firmly guarded the important checkpoint. This time, they were serious and spared no expense because they had reached the point of life and death. Whoosh! Lin Feng's body glowed as he leaped out of the 3rd ring. Level 9 of the life-breaking stage. After cultivating day and night, Lin Feng finally reached level 9 of the life-breaking stage. His gaze fell on Li Poji. At this moment, the latter was wholeheartedly trying to reach the limit. However, he still had a hard bottleneck to break through to the cosmic system state, and that was his life rating. This was the most crucial factor. Not only did it determine the level of the origin star realm, but also determined the upper limit of one's strength. It seems to have begun. Lin Feng's eyes flashed as he looked into the distance. He listened to the demon death knells ringing. It sounded urgent like an alarm, indicating that an enemy had invaded the 12 demon death knell graveyard. Lin Feng spread out his realm power, and the airflow became chaotic. The war started faster than he expected. Let them fight it out first. Lin Feng didn't care. From Earth perspective, both sides were enemies. There was no need for him to get involved. Even if the demon stars of the past were defeated, it wouldn't be a matter of 2 or 3 days, not to mention Blood Shadow. This war would last for a long time at least. Whoosh! Lin Feng's expression became serious. He looked at the demon death knell in the distance, and 3-star cosmic crystal energy emerged. He knew very well what was the most correct thing to do. Ta! Lin Feng entered again and continued to cultivate. Concentrating, Lin Feng and Li Poji maximized their cultivation efficiency. The current Li Poji was much more hardworking than before. The trip to Planet Nemo had changed him greatly. He changed his name and showed his determination. Time and time again, his soft and casual personality became much tougher. Of course, in terms of toughness, he couldn't compare to Lin Feng or Blood Shadow. However, everyone had their own advantages, and being tough didn't necessarily mean it was good. Day after day, month after month, Lin Feng would leave for a few hours every half a month to obtain information about the war. Since he had promised Blood Shadow, he would not go back on his word. Furthermore, this was related to the safety of Earth, so there was no room for error. Shuang was very smart. He split into 3 groups. The head of the 5 demon emperors, the Blood Axe Emperor, led the Yi Emperor and most of the curse-shattering heavenly demons to guard the Black Demon Prison. The Qi Jing Emperor and the Phantom Emperor waited for an opportunity to attack the Miracle Garden, fully displaying the advantage of the demon race experts, making it difficult for the humans to take care of both sides. Furthermore, the Black Demon Prison was the base camp of the Devil race, which had a strong defensive barrier. It would not be easy for human experts to break through it. As for himself, he stayed in the Devil Death Knell area. This was a forbidden area. Whether it was a human life-breaking expert or a myriad evil celestial demon, they had to shed a layer of skin before entering. Blood Shadow's location has already been exposed. Lin Feng knew very well. After probing a few times, Miracle Holy King had already confirmed Blood Shadow's location. He was indeed worthy of being the leader of the human race. Not only was he strong, he was also very experienced and intelligent. However, Blood Shadow has the Devil Throat Bloodblade. His demonic blood eruption is not bad. It won't be that easy for Miracle Holy King to beat him. Lin Feng understood. Plus, Blood Shadow knew that he and Li Poji were in the Devil Death Knell area. If there was danger, he would be able to quickly rescue them. There was no need to worry about his safety. Without him and Li Poji, Blood Shadow had already conquered a territory on Planet Nemo. Balance is the key. Lin Feng knew very well that although he agreed to Blood Shadow, it did not mean that he would sincerely help the demon race defeat the humans. This was only an expedient plan. Furthermore, he did not have 100% trust in Blood Shadow. The only one he could truly trust was Li Poji. In 3 more months, I will definitely break through to the cosmic system state. By then, Earth and Planet Nemo will be pacified. Lin Feng was very certain. As long as he became a cosmic system state, all the problems would be solved. Suddenly, the airflow changed. Lin Feng felt suffocated as he looked at Li Poji in front of him in shock. At this moment, Li Poji's aura was completely different. His entire being was like a body of energy. The energy that entered his body instantly leaked out, unable to contain even a little bit more. The limit of the star stage. Lin Feng exclaimed. Not only did Li Poji reach level 8 faster than him, but he also reached level 9 faster than him. His speed of reaching the limit of the star stage had completely left him in the dust. In just a few months, his strength had jumped crazily. Now, he had reached the limit of the star stage. Such a cultivation speed was unimaginable. Amazing. After being surprised a few times, Lin Feng quickly calmed down. He really wanted to know what kind of fortuitous encounter Li Poji had to be able to increase his cultivation speed to such an astonishing level. He could not help but laugh. He did not expect that Li Poji, the weakest among the 3, would be the first to reach the limit of the star stage. Sure enough, everyone had their advantages. Ha ha, ha ha ha. Li Poji jumped to Lin Feng's side and smiled. Thank you for your help, Brother Lin. Li Poji clearly knew how precious the three-star cosmic crystal Lin Feng gave him was. It was the essence of the universe's energy. Coupled with the unique structure of the heaven-hating demon death knell, his cultivation speed had increased by more than 100 times. Under normal circumstances, it would take him thousands of years to break through level 8 to level 9. Li Poji felt it was a pity that he was eliminated in the Wu Xindao realm. He did not expect that his strength would increase even faster after entering the death knell. We are good brothers who have gone through fire and water together. No need to be so polite. Lin Feng smiled. His relationship with the Blood Shadow was very complicated, but his relationship with Li Poji was pure brotherhood. They had fought for the same goal. They had protected Earth together and also explored Planet Nemo together. They should share blessings and hardships together. I still have to thank you. This is too much. Li Poji sighed. Lin Feng smiled and asked curiously, "By the way, Brother Li, why is your cultivation speed so fast?" Because of this. Li Poji laughed heartily and did not hide anything. His aura suddenly changed, and a uniquely shaped king's helmet that looked like an ingot slowly appeared on his head. The most eye-catching part of the curved ingot was the tricolored gem in the middle of the king's helmet. All the colors in the world paled in comparison. Lin Feng was stunned. He stared blankly at the king's helmet on Li Poji's head. The tricolored gem shone brightly, making Li Poji look like an emperor. His heartbeat quickened. He had already sensed the appearance of this king's helmet. Others might not recognize it, but he could not be more clear about it. This was the tricolored king's helmet on Emperor Yu's head, the seal of the Silent World, one of the 3 ancient treasures that were as famous as his skeleton armor. Chapter 1176. Do you know the origin of his helmet? Lin Feng asked. It's one of the 3 ancient treasures of Emperor Min Wu. Li Poji lowered his voice. Blood Shadow doesn't know that this helmet contains the attack of Emperor Min Wu's avatar. It's only 1 strike, but it's enough to kill the demon star. Emperor Min Wu's avatar attack. Lin Feng nodded in realization. It was no wonder that the 3-colored king helmet would abandon the seal and reveal itself to the world. It turned out that this was the final trump card left behind by Emperor Min Wu. No matter how strong the demon star was, as long as it didn't exceed the cosmic system state, it could be killed with 1 strike of Emperor Min Wu's avatar. However, this helmet ended up in Li Poji's hands, and the demon star happened to be Blood Shadow. The 2 were once enemies, but they weren't going to have an internal conflict. This is a pleasant surprise. Lin Feng smiled. In other words, the ancient treasure he sensed at the God Spirit ruins was Li Poji. As the ancient treasure that suppressed the Silent Realm, this helmet must have extraordinary power. No wonder Li Poji's cultivation speed was so fast. I only told you because Brother Lin asked. Li Poji smiled. Blood Shadow doesn't even know that his combat power is the weakest among the 3 of us. Luckily, it fell into your hands, Lin Feng said. If it fell into the hands of other martial artists, Blood Shadow would lose a layer of skin even if he didn't die. That's right. Li Poji sighed. It's a pity that I didn't know this helmet was the seal of Planet Nemo until I got it. Even if you didn't take it, others would. Don't think too much. We'll soon become cosmic system states and have enough power to protect Earth. Even if the demon race and beast race all come out, we won't have to worry. Lin Feng's eyes flashed. As long as we're strong enough, we can protect everything. Li Poji frowned. I've reached the limit of the breaking life stage, but I'm still far from becoming a cosmic system state. Breaking through isn't as hard as you think. Lin Feng shook his head. Although the humans on Planet Nemo haven't been able to break through, the key lies in the level of life. Brotherly, you are the same. For martial artists who cultivated the soul of the Earth, the origin star realm was the key. Normally, the humans of a Nemo star realm would have a psyche distance of just over 10,000 when they entered the life-breaking realm. Even after the 3rd bloodline awakening, they would only have a psyche distance of several tens of thousands. The rest depended on the comprehension of the Tao and the cultivation of the heart. The 4th level of the origin star realm required a spiritual sense distance of 100,000. Brother Lin, do you have a way? Li Poji asked happily. What's your reading range now? Lin Feng asked. 78806, Li Poji answered. Much stronger than most life-breaking stage humans, Lin Feng said. The distance of Li Poji's psyche was quite impressive. Firstly, he had cultivated the same kind of innate soul as Meng Qi, and had activated the cultivation of Heaven Talisman. Secondly, he had also entered the realm of Yu Emperor, and although he had only reached the realm of Wu Deity, he had gained quite a lot. But it's still not enough. Li Poji shook his head. There was still a long way to go from 78806 to 100,000. Lin Feng knew that Brother Xinyuan had the same problem. He had worked hard to cultivate the Tao of origin to gradually increase his psyche distance. It can help you. Lin Feng raised his hand. All of a sudden, an ice-cold stream of power appeared, along with a faint aroma. It was none other than the crystal coffin he obtained from the Yu Emperor's divine realm. The crystal coffin was transparent and beautiful, looking like a piece of art made of ice and snow, perfect and flawless. What's this? Li Poji was surprised. Skyheart crystal coffin, Lin Feng said. Do you know about the soul of wisdom? One of the three souls. Li Poji was born in an ancient family on Earth. He had read a lot of books since he was a child. Lin Feng nodded. The most mysterious soul, the most unfathomable one, but also the most indispensable one. There are many records about the soul of wisdom on Earth. It's called the heart. The heart, Li Poji murmured. Buddhism cultivates the heart, and Taoism cultivates the heart. My father once said that we should stay true to our heart when we face the tribulation and follow our heart when we break the tribulation. Lin Feng's eyes flashed. Indeed, it's inseparable. The human martial artists, demons, and monsters we've seen, whether it's the innate soul of Xiao or the soul of Earth, they're all closely related to the heart, which is the soul of wisdom. Li Poji said, the soul of talent is the heavenly eye cultivation, and the soul of Earth is the origin cultivation. Lin Feng nodded. The realms of sword heart, saber heart, and spear heart, as well as the various combat prowess of the physical strength school, and even the bloodline level, are all inseparable from the soul of wisdom. It is everywhere, just like how a marshal commands an entire army. Although he has the soul of innate talent and the soul of Earth under his command, he also controls all the troops, rations, intelligence, and so on. Although this sky heart crystal coffin is a cosmic treasure, it has only one purpose: to nourish the heart. Swish! Li Poji's eyes widened. Although increasing the heart power can't directly increase one's strength, it can improve everything from the foundation. It's very effective for martial artists like you and me. Lin Feng said slowly. In fact, he didn't expect this inconspicuous crystal coffin to have such a miraculous effect when he was choosing it that day. It was the right decision to give up the ancient treasure. The Skyheart crystal coffin's value was far greater than the other two combined. It was a super treasure that could be harvested in the long run. Even if it was a cosmic treasure, it was still of top value. So, Brother Lin, you're saying? Li Poji's eyes lit up. You use it first. Lin Feng wasn't a stingy person. Besides, he didn't need the Skyheart crystal coffin for the time being. Even if Li Poji reached the cosmic realm earlier than him after using it, he wouldn't care. He would only be happy for him. Earth didn't need just one guardian god. Okay. Li Poji nodded heavily. I won't be wishy-washy. Then, Li Poji opened the Skyheart crystal coffin and entered it to begin his cultivation journey. Lin Feng smiled and also stepped into the second ring. Rapid improvement. Not only Lin Feng's strength, but also Li Poji's heart power. Many of his heart cultivations were on the verge of a breakthrough, such as the cultivation of the heavenly skull. In the second month after entering the Skyheart crystal coffin, Li Poji opened the second acupoint. His cultivation of the Great Path of Wind also improved rapidly, reaching the third level of cultivation. Bloodline and life rating. As his heart power improved, the potential of his bloodline was stimulated bit by bit. His life rating also increased. Li Poji, who had awakened his bloodline for the third time, had a burst of potential. Now, everything was ready. Li Poji was getting closer and closer to the fourth level of the origin star boundary. At this time, Lin Feng was halfway to the 9th level of the life-breaking stage and was sprinting toward the limit of the star boundary. Unlike Li Poji, he only needed to be strong enough. He could break through immediately. Chapter 1177. Land of the Death Knell, Black Devil Prison, Miracle Garden. Net. Flames of war raged in 3 places. Humans, demons, and monsters engaged in fierce battles. Since the birth of the demon star 100 million years ago, this was the first true war to erupt. Every day, one could hear news of the death of curse-shattering heavenly demon, 1,000 evil heavenly demon, and even human life-breaking realm experts. Each of these experts stood at the peak of the Nirvana world. However, there was always a higher mountain, and the flames of war were even more ruthless. There were no wars without casualties, and the demi-humans suffered the most casualties. After all, their individual strength was the weakest. But it was precisely because of the addition of the demi-humans that the balance between the humans and demons was finally balanced, and even gradually tilted towards the humans and demi-humans, even though the 2 major races were still holding back. A man with a giant sword appeared in the 12 Devil Death Knell area. He wore silver-white battle armor and a blazing sun on his forehead. The giant sword in his hand had a terrifying aura. Every step he took seemed to cause the Death Knell graveyard to fall silent. His appearance was like the blazing sun on his forehead, illuminating the 12 Devil Death Knell area. Miracle Saint King, the strongest human expert, Chi Hao. It's here. The giant sword in Miracle Saint King's hand trembled, and power poured out. He looked forward with bright eyes, and then looked at the giant sword in the sky. 12 Devil Death Knell area. This is where the sky is pointing. The giant sword in Miracle Saint King's hand seemed to have a mind of its own as it resonated. Suddenly, the giant sword made a ringing sound and pointed to the front. Demon Star. Miracle Saint King's blazing sun was burning, and a faint smile appeared on his face. He was full of confidence. His figure flashed and then disappeared. Heaven-hating Devil Death Knell area. Sword Heart, 6th layer refinement. The bloodline potential of the 3rd awakening was slowly being stimulated. Li Poji's origin star realm perception distance had already reached 98 per thousand. He was completely immersed in the Sky Heart crystal coffin and was getting closer and closer to the 4th level perception distance of 10 per thousand. He was only waiting for the final moment to break through. Oh! Lin Feng's heart suddenly moved. The 3-star universe crystal flashed, and he retreated to the side of the Sky Heart crystal coffin. He felt a change in power and aura surging from his heart. This was a technique of the demon race, a manifestation of their strength. Just like the heavenly centipede cultivation of the innate soul and the earth soul's origin Tao cultivation of the innate soul, only those with combat strength could display the true power of their power techniques. It's difficult for the humans on Nemo planet to gain combat power, but it doesn't seem difficult for the humans on Earth, Lin Feng said softly. From what he knew, junior brother Xiangyu had battle prowess, and so did big brother Lin Zhan. Back then, he had received guidance from Xiangyu and also possessed the battle prowess of an overlord. Every time his wisdom soul was upgraded, his overlord battle prowess would be upgraded. It was just that he was more proficient in the battle techniques of the Earth Soul and did not cultivate much in strength techniques. Hence, he did not focus on this path. Li Poji had already begun to transform. With a full body and rich energy, the first thing to evolve was the Origin Star Realms level. Lin Feng couldn't be more familiar with this process. He raised his hand, and the Skyheart crystal coffin opened. Lin Feng tossed in 3-star universe crystals for Li Poji to absorb. The Origin Star Realms transformation required a massive amount of energy, and absorbing it by himself was too slow. With the assistance of Ian crystal energy, this transformation would save him a great deal of time. At this moment, time was of the essence. Li Poji opened his eyes and nodded at Lin Feng with a smile. There was no need to say too many mushy words of gratitude between brothers. The 3-star universe crystal's energy was rapidly consumed, and its color turned from full to dull. Li Poji's level 4 Origin Star Realms construction was progressing rapidly. Soon, along with the Origin Star Realms transformation, all the conditions for advancing to the cosmic system state were met. It's finally here. Lin Feng nodded with satisfaction. Earth's third generation's first cosmic system state expert, Li Poji's strength would increase by leaps and bounds. With Li Poji protecting Earth on behalf of him, he would no longer need to be on tenterhooks. Even if the suppression seal was discovered, it would be fine. Lin Feng really didn't care whether he would be in the limelight or become a hero. He had never been a vain person. He cultivated himself and did everything according to his heart. The miracle Saint King had arrived. Under the guidance of the Sky Dome Sword, he stepped into the center of the 12 Demon Death Knell region. From the Nether Demon Death Knell region to the Purple Eye Demon Death Knell region. From the Ambiguity Demon Death Knell region to the Heaven-Devouring Demon Death Knell region, he single-handedly killed tens of thousands of demons. No one was a match for him. He was like a true emperor who had descended and conquered the demon race with unstoppable force. His strength was already at the peak. Back then, he fought against 4 demons at the Miracle Garden alone and made the 5 demon emperors not dare to take half a step into the Miracle Garden. Now that he had the Sky Dome Sword, his combat power was completely beyond the Star State. If he wasn't restricted by the Origin Star Realm like Li Poji, he would have already broken through to the Cosmic System State. It's here. The Miracle Saint King's majestic body stopped. In front of them was the Demon Death Knell's area. The Sky Dome Sword shone brightly and shook violently as if it had lost control. The Miracle Saint King's eyes flashed and the light energy poured into the Sky Dome Sword. In an instant, it directly entered. Today, he was going to slaughter demons. Swish! Lin Feng opened his eyes wide and looked into the distance. There was an inexplicable, strong feeling in his heart. It was a warning of danger. His blood boiled, and his realm force sensed that the Demon Death Knell region seemed to have changed. Even the sound of the Demon Death Knell had changed. It seemed to be a nervous warning sound. Swish! Lin Feng's eyes lit up. He took out the voice transmission stone. It was a message from the Blood Shadow. What should come will come in the end. A familiar voice came from behind. Li Poji had already jumped out of the sky heart crystal coffin with a smile. His chi was completely different. His life force was no longer inferior to Lin Feng like before. Now he was standing on the same level as Lin Feng. The cosmic system state. It's done. Lin Feng was surprised. From the Origin Star Realm's transformation to the cosmic system state breakthrough, everything happened too quickly. Although he had the help of the 3-star universe crystal, it was still a bit too fast. 50%. Li Poji clenched his right fist and fully displayed the origin of wind. He seemed to be in the wind. His combat power was released and moved with the wind. Swish! 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 Li Poji's body movement technique was amazing, leaving afterimages behind him. Is this the new combat power you've comprehended? Lin Feng asked. I call it wind combat power. It suits my origin Dao very well. Li Poji smiled. Combat power doesn't have to be used for power techniques. I'm confident that it can perfectly match the origin of wind, or with my sword Dao. Lin Feng smiled. When Li Poji was at the peak of his fame on Earth, he relied on the 6-pulse divine sword and wave-like subtle steps. His swordsmanship and movement technique were both unparalleled. Coupled with his cultivation of wind, his current strength was unfathomable. Leave this battle to me. Li Poji's figure turned into layers of overlapping shadows and instantly disappeared. Chapter 1178. Army Throat Demon Death Knell Area. The Demon Slayer King stepped into this demonic region, inheriting the glory of the Crimson Sun clan, the strongest of the 5 clans of Tianmo. The Miracle Saint King was the trump card of humanity, and the Firmament Greatsword in his hand was also given by Li Mubai willingly, because only the Miracle Saint King could truly shoulder the heavy responsibility of Emperor Minwu. Protect humanity. Dang! The Demon Death Knell rang, and the Sky Sword flashed. Miracle Saint King didn't even frown at the sound of the bell that most life-breaking experts had to defend against. He stepped forward and stopped as he looked at the figure in the darkness not far away. The golden skeleton's hideous armor wrapped around a thin figure shrouded in the darkness. It was Blood Shadow. The third eye on his forehead was completely open, and the hideous dragon aura behind him was incomparably violent. Blood Shadow held the army throat Bloodblade, and he wasn't afraid of Miracle Saint King at all. The moment he obtained the army throat demon blood, he knew that this battle would come sooner or later. Hiding wasn't his style. "You're the first." Miracle Saint King spoke, his calm voice filled with confidence. Boom! Blood Shadow's killing intent exploded, and the army throat Bloodblade burned with flames. Without saying anything, the bloody figure was like a blood blade in his hand, slashing at Miracle Saint King's throat without hesitation. Clang! The scarlet sun on the Miracle Saint King's forehead shone brightly. With a loud shout, the giant sword in the sky rumbled, and a terrifying power seemed to break through the heavens. The strongest human and demon had no room for negotiation. Fight! On the other side, Lipoji turned into a gust of wind and left. His body's strength, level of life, reaction speed, and everything else had reached a perfect level. He had become a world of his own. Lin Feng looked at Lipoji's back as he left, and he didn't doubt his strength. If he teamed up with Blood Shadow, they might be able to defeat Miracle Saint King without him. After all, Lipoji still had a powerful trump card. Emperor Min Wu's clone attacked. Although it was only one attack, it was extraordinary. However, the Miracle Saint King was, after all, the strongest human expert. His strength was unfathomable, and he didn't know much about him. He was too mysterious, living in seclusion, and there was almost no information about him. He only knew that he had the bloodline of the Scarlet Sun clan, and his battle strength had reached the peak of perfection. 10,000 years ago, it was already Dugu Qiubai. Lin Feng sighed. Miracle Saint King Qi Hao was a rare genius of the Scarlet Sun race. He was born with the strongest bloodline of the Scarlet Sun race. Shattered Scarlet Sunday. When he was young, his meridians were blocked because his bloodline was too strong. He went through endless pain and suffering. It was only when he was 18 that his bloodline completely exploded and soared into the sky. In less than a year, he became a Nirvana realm cultivator, and in 3 years he stepped into the Grand Nirvana realm. This period of tempering and pain was extremely important to his future cultivation. It had tempered his temperament and willpower. When he was 30 years old, he became a life-breaking expert and entered the Mingwu rankings. At the age of 50, he entered the Renwu Earth ranking. At the age of 120, he entered the Renwu Sky ranking. At the age of 390, he entered the top 10 of the Renwu Sky ranking. At the age of 1100, he entered the top 3 of the Renwu Sky ranking. He killed Qi Shenbao, who was ranked 3rd on the 10,000 demon ranking. He established his fame and was called the Miracle Saint King. In the next 10,000 years, no one saw him fight again, until the Demon Star appeared and the Demon Race Army entered the Miracle Garden. The legendary strongest human, the Miracle Saint King, finally made a move. He fought 1 against 4 and was not at a disadvantage. The demon race was terrified and retreated in defeat. He was the pillar of the human race and a myth. I can't underestimate him. Lin Feng nodded. This was the strongest human that couldn't be judged by common sense. No matter what, I should go and take a look. Lin Feng was still worried. His figure flashed, and he went straight to the Demon Death Knell area. At this time, the Demon Death Knell area was experiencing a top-level battle on the Nemo planet. Blood Shadow and the Miracle Saint King were fighting one-on-one. He had already activated the power of the Demon Blood, but he was still unable to gain the upper hand. Just as he had expected, the Miracle Saint King's strength was more terrifying than he had imagined. The most terrifying thing was this expert had the ancient treasure passed down by great Emperor Minwu. It raised his already abnormally strong strength to the limit. Boom! Boom! Although the demon blood was powerful, the Sky Dome Sword was also extraordinary. The biggest difference between Blood Shadow and the Miracle Saint King was their own strength. They couldn't defeat the Miracle Saint King with just the demon blood. Soon, The miracle Saint King gained the upper hand and suppressed Blood Shadow. This was unheard of in the past battles with the Demon Star. Every Demon Star required the humans and the demon race to pay a huge price to kill them. But this time, the miracle Saint King only needed the power of one person. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The Sky Dome's sword shone brightly and naturally countered the darkness. In addition, the miracle Saint King walked the path of light. His bloodline talent, Shattering Scarlet Sun, was even more powerful. Blood Shadow was defeated again and was heavily injured. Swish! The Sky Dome's sword fell again. The miracle Saint King's strength didn't decrease, but increased instead. He had to win this battle. Boom! Rocks cracked and sand flew. The miracle Saint King frowned. This move that he had prepared for a long time not only didn't kill the Demon Star, it even allowed him to escape. Through the sand, the miracle Saint King saw the culprit. It was a youth who was like the wind. Human, the miracle Saint King was dazed. He glanced at Blood Shadow and looked more carefully. Two humans. What's going on? Where's the Demon Star? The miracle Saint King did not understand. In the next instant, a cool breeze blew over. Just as everyone was bathed in the spring breeze, killing intent appeared. Lipoji's sword drew an arc. The seemingly casual sword move hit a mysterious killer move. It was impossible to guard against. The wind essence was everywhere. Lipoji's sword had reached the extreme. He was only half a step away from the limit of level 6. So strange. He's clearly in front, but I can't feel his presence at all. The miracle Saint King didn't know that the cosmic system state and the star state were two different systems. When one's strength reached the cosmic system state, everything would change. They wouldn't need the outside world anymore. They could form a realm by themselves. Realm C was like this. This was a huge transformation of the life level. Clank! The Sky Dome sword hummed again. The miracle Saint King immediately defended against Lipoji's attack. He didn't know what was going on, but he was certain that these two humans were enemies without a doubt. There was no need to be merciful. Oh! The miracle Saint King's expression turned serious. He clearly felt the power of this human youth. He was even more terrifying than the Demon Star. When did the humans have such a rising star? The miracle Saint King thought. What he didn't know was a pair of light flashed in the black haze above. Lin Feng had arrived. Lipoji wasn't the only rising star of the human race.